Ballers came close last night to their 40th win of the year. They did fall just short, leaving the tying run aboard in the ninth inning, and a 3-2 loss against the Glacier Range Riders, who evened the series at 2. Ballers looking to take the series lead tonight 3-2 with a win, and Luke Short on the hill. Good evening and welcome to Glacier Bank Park in Kalispell, Montana, as the Oakland Ballers visit the Glacier Range Riders for the fifth game of a 6-game series. I'm Nevada Cullen, and you're listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Last night, the Ballers' offense really struggled until the 7th inning. They were shut out through 6. Trailing 3-0 in the 7th, Darryl Buggs II had a triple, and Tremaine Cobb Jr. hit a 2-run bomb to put the Ballers within 1. Then fast forward to the 9th, Ballers still down a run, and Dylan Tatum, after a controversial call, gets switched in the Ballers' favor, ends up with an infield hit, and then Isai Santos, the pinch hitter, after Glacier thought they had won the game, nearly went yard to give the Ballers the lead. Instead, the Ballers would drop back-to-back games for the first time in July. Ballers still 39-13, very good this season. 2-2 so far in the second half. Ballers were the first half champions. Aaron Miles in his second year will line up his Ballers today like this. Tremaine Cobb Jr. is the shortstop leading off. Isai Santos, right fielder, hits second. Davis Druick, the center fielder, bats third. Danny Harris, second baseman, cleans up. Christian Almanza, the first baseman, bats fifth. Lou Helmick, first baseman, in the 6th slot. Jake Allgaier, the DH, bats 7th. Dylan Tatum, catcher, batting 8th. And Nick Leahy, third baseman, hits 9th. The Ballers will roll with Luke Short, and Glacier will roll with Sean Brennan. We have not seen him yet. This is going to be just his 4th start for the Glacier Range Riders. And then the lineup for Todd Pratt's Range Riders, they're 19-33, 2-2 in the second half. Kyle Ashworth is the right fielder leading off. Gabe Howell is the shortstop batting second. Logan Beard, second baseman, hits third. Xavier Casarella, the DH, bats fourth. Casarella was just victorious in round 2 of the home run derby, pregame home run derby, in which the Range Riders swept the Oakland Ballers 2-0. Kingston Liniak, the center fielder, bats 5th. Josh Rego was the other participant in the home run derby. He hits 6th and plays first base. Kenny Lavari, left fielder, hits 7th. Donovan Ratfield is the catcher, hitting 8th. JT Mabry, third baseman, bats 9th for the Range Riders. And those are your starting lineups for both squads tonight on this Saturday, July 19th, from Kalispell, Montana. Kalispell, if you're not familiar, is just outside of Glacier National Park. Just have to go a little bit northeast to get to the park, and I did get to go to the national park today. I got to explore Glacier with my family. Shout out to Brian. His wife Sandra could not tag along, but their 4 kids were there, so it was wonderful to meet my little cousins for the first time. Sean, Shannon, Savannah, and Samantha. We had a great time. We just drove through the wonderful mountains, great views, rivers and valleys, snow-capped mountains, caves of snow. We saw a couple of bears. We saw little squirrels, and got to walk around a little bit on, I believe it's the Logan Pass. And so, yeah, it was a really nice time before this game. I actually basically just got in an hour and a half ago, but made it just in time to watch the Home Run Derby pregame, in which Pat Monty participated, as did Cam Buford. And both of them kind of had a slow day at the office in the Home Run Derby, but honestly, if you look at the Home Run Derbies, the standings in the Home Run Derby in the Pioneer League, it's actually taking me to a website that I don't even know what this is. No, this is just ads. Never mind. Anyway, the Range Riders have Xavier Casarella, who is the leader in the Home Run Derby in the Pioneer League this season. Jeff Butts chiming in saying that Reed said it was super expensive to visit the park. Well, that I think would have been the case for a large group to do it, but because I was just traveling with my family and my cousin is military or former military, we were able to get in for free. So it was just $2 for the timed entry to the park. I don't exactly know. I think it was just very complicated for the team to get into the park. The team was hoping to go the other day, but they couldn't have driven the bus through the mountains, and so they wouldn't have been able to see much. But yes, absolutely, it was awesome. It's very cool that they do allow veterans and current military to get into Glacier National Park for free. And I think that's just another thing that Kalispell and this area of Montana does well. They do honor the military well here in Montana. Now, we're just a little bit away from first pitch. It's going to be a late start today. Glacier taking the field right now, so we're going to take a break here on the pregame show. When we return on the pregame show, it will be time for first pitch here from Kalispell. This is Game 5 of a 6-game set here from Flathead Valley, Montana, as the Range Riders have won the last 2 games of the series. Oakland looking to snap a quick 2-game losing skid. First pitch when you return on 860 AM. The Answer. Welcome back to Kalispell. First pitch in a moment here from Glacier Bank Park, the home of the Glacier Range Riders. They will start Sean Brennan today. Brennan, 5'10", 200-pound right-hander, 22 years old from Hatfield, Pennsylvania. Sunday against Billings, won a season-high 4 2/3 and a 3-2 loss. Gave up just 4 hits and 2 earned runs, striking out a season-high 5 batters. Did allow 1 homer. Made his Glacier debut against Yuba Sutter back on July 2nd. 6.75 ERA, 0-1 record, 3 starts, 12 innings, 13 hits, 9 walks, and 12 strikeouts. So if you look at what Brennan has done over the course of his first 3 professional starts, he hasn't been able to work deep yet, but that's probably just because he, is a young pitcher. He's a rookie. He's 22 years old. Kind of how Noah Milliken didn't work deep into a game until his 3rd or 4th start. So let's see if Brennan in his 4th start can have a bit better look working deep into this game, and he's given up a few earned runs. He's averaged about 3 earned runs per start, 3 and then 4 and then 2, and so we'll see how the Ballers will fare against him today. Defense for Glacier, left to right in the outfield, Lavari, Liniak, and Ashworth. Infield from first to third, Rago, Beard, Howell, and Mabry. Catcher is Ratfield for the pitcher, Brennan. Ballers wearing the Oakland stands up black uniforms tonight, gray pants, all white for the Range Riders, the home side. The first pitch of the game to Tremaine Cobb Jr. is served foul into the screen at 7-11. A 6-minute late start here from Kalispell. 6-11 start back in the Bay. Thanks for tuning in on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. 0-1 count on Tremaine Cobb Jr., right-handed hitter, leadoff man for the Ballers, takes high 1-1. And this Ballers offense has struggled mightily here in Kalispell. They have not scored more than 5 runs in a game, and part of it starts with Tremaine Cobb Jr. because he has led off the game in each game so far. That's his job as leadoff man. He is yet to reach leading off a game. Takes a strike, 1-2. Usually you feel like Trey gets on more than not when leading off the contest, but in this series that hasn't been the case. He did have a big 2-run homer yesterday, but that was after 3 strikeouts. 1-2 from the righty Brennan. Cobb takes way upstairs. Looked like maybe a breaking ball that did not break. It was 86. It was well north of the zone and outside. Cobb just 2 for 16 in the series. Long homer yesterday to left center. 2-2, swung on and fouled into the mitt of the catcher Ratfield for out number 1. Fastball down the middle, and Trey was late. Brings up Isai Santos here in the top of the first inning. 1 out, nobody on for Oakland. Umpires today behind the plate, Alec Conwell. At first, it's Shad Chrisman. At third, Craig Struble. First pitch to Santos is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Santos 2 for 8 in the series. Had a pinch hit at bat yesterday and nearly went yard for a go-ahead bomb with 2 outs in the 9th. 0-1. Santos strokes it to the screen behind him, 0-2. Yesterday, Dylan Tatum reached on an infield hit that was originally called an out to end the game. And so Glacier was in their high-five line, shaking hands after the game. They had basically wrapped that up when the umpires decided to continue the game and call Tatum safe, and that brought up Santos as a pinch hitter against Rain Supple. Nearly took Glacier's closer deep to left center field. 0-2 here from Brennan to Santos. That's high. 1-2. Santos 45 games, hitting .240, but batting .317 against Glacier this year, with 9 runs scored, 3 extra base hits, 3 multi-hit games against the Range Riders. 1-2 toss. Santos pops it up behind home over me in the press box on the left side. Santos left-handed hitter. Brennan a righty, wearing that white Range Riders uniform with the rifle green Range Riders in cursive script across the chest, the red numbers, the rifle green cap with Cliff, the mountain goat, on the front of the hat. That's their primary mascot. 1-2, swung on and missed. Santos late on 89 at the top of the zone. 2 down. So the last 3 games have started exactly the same, with Cobb and then either Santos or Leahy striking out, swinging. Brings up Davis Druick, who yesterday had a 2-out hit. It was a very slow hit, 32 miles an hour, down the third baseline. It was actually a broken bat single, hence the slow exit velo. First pitch to Druick is a strike at 90 miles an hour at the top of the zone. 0-1. Good first inning so far for Sean Brennan, the Hatfield, Pennsylvania native. Played at several different colleges that you probably haven't heard of. 0-1. Druick late. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Keystone College in Pennsylvania. Lock Haven University of Pennsylvania. And Washington College in Chestertown, Maryland. After pitching at Keystone, he went to play in the Cape for Falmouth. Druick takes just high for a ball. 1-2. Nobody out, or nobody on. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. No score. Brennan, the righty, against Druick, the lefty. Brennan working from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. Pitches, and Druick serves it high to right field. Foul ground. It should get out of play. And it does, just behind the Oakland bench by the bullpen. There's the dugout down the first baseline, and as you go into right field, you run into the Ballers bullpen. And just beyond the turf mounds out there is a bench containing much of Oakland's pitching staff. 2 outs, still 1-2 on Druick. Brennan's pitch is way upstairs. Doesn't seem to have command of the breaking ball. Now, actually, that last pitch, I think that's a changeup high. He did throw the changeup over the plate on the previous pitch to Druick. 2-2. Druick swings and fouls it back. Not sure of the pitch mix from Brennan, but there's not a whole lot of change of speeds. The pitches he's thrown have ranged as high as 90 miles an hour to as low as just 85. No, 83. 2 pitches ago was 83. 2-2 again. Druick strokes it into the gap in right center field. This is a base hit. Druick thinking 2, and he'll get there. Picked up by Ashworth, the right fielder. He hits the cutoff man Beard, and Druick has a 2-out double. His 7th double of the season against the Glacier Range Riders. Brings up Daniel Harris the 4th. In the top of the first, nobody out. And Druick, with his double, is on second base. Danny Harris just 1 for 14 in the series. His lone hit was a double. First pitch from Brennan, the righty, to the righty Harris. Is in the turf. 1-0. Ballers didn't get an extra base hit yesterday until the 7th inning. That was the triple by Bugs. 1-0. Brennan looks at second. Druick dancing way off the bag. Brennan goes home. Harris fouls it off. You got a pitch right down the middle and missed it. That's not your typical fastball. That's 86. It's not a changeup either, though. My guess is that's a cutter. That's just left over the plate by Brennan. Got enough late movement on it to make sure that Harris fouled it off. It's 1-1. Harris swings late at 89. That was high and away. Good pitch from Brennan. Still would have been a strike in the zone. And it's 1-2. Oakland has not scored in the first inning in this series. One-two. Brennan looks at second. No one holding Druick. Pitch. Called third strike to Harris. That was way off the plate. That was a pretty bad call, and Harris is down looking. Brennan strikes out the side in the first with a little help from the home plate umpire, Alec Conwell. Ballers do not score despite a 2-out double in the first inning. Range Riders coming up when you return. No score here from Kalispell on 860 AM. The Answer. Bottom of the first inning from Kalispell, no score. Ballers and Range Riders. Luke Short on the bump for Oakland today. Shorty has gone 6 shutty in back-to-back starts, both against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Saturday against the Vibes in a 9-3 win, he went 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts, a season low hits allowed, just 2. The lefty, 6'1", 205, 22 years old from San Jose, California, has a 3.75 ERA. 6-1 record. His 10th start. 48 innings pitched, 47 hits, 19 walks, 55 strikeouts. Short attempting to tie the franchise record for wins in a season set by Christian Cosby and Zach St. Pierre last year. They had 7. Now another Ballers pitcher has 7. That's Reed Butts this season. And Luke Short trying to become the 4th Ballers pitcher in history to pick up 7 wins in a year. His first pitch of the day is high to Kyle Ashworth for ball 1. Again, the lineup for the Range Riders: Ashworth, Howell, Beard, Casarello, Liniak, Rago, Lavari, Ratfield, Mabry. 1-0, looked close, 89, that's south of the zone, 2-0. Ashworth 1 for 4 yesterday with a run and a strikeout. There's a strike, 2-1. That's challenged by Ashworth. Yeah, that was not close to a strike. It's 3-0. So Glacier's 1 of 1. Alec Conwell was the villain last night for the Ballers. 3-0. There's a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. He was the first base umpire, which called one play in favor of Oakland, and then that call got reversed. 3-1. Ashworth takes a strike, outer half, 3-2. And then there was another play, that last play, that Tatum grounder. He called Tatum out, but then his call was reversed again, this time in Oakland's favor. 3-2. Grounded to second base. Danny Harris on a couple hops, throws to first for out number 1. And I will give this in defense of Alec Conwell. It is clear he is a very young umpire and still very much learning the trade. But that still is not an excuse, and this umpiring crew has left much to be desired in this series. 1 out, Gabe Howell, the batter. Takes the first pitch, ball off the plate, 1-0. No score in the bottom of the first. Oakland and Glacier here from Kalispell. Howell in the series 1 for 12. His hit came yesterday. And he rips a line drive off into right field towards the berm, and it lands on the first level of the 2-story berm in right field. There's a standard berm out in left field foul territory down the third base line, but this one down the first base line has some small boulders that separate the top level from the bottom level. Howell takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch is bounced to second. Harris collects, throws in time. Back-to-back 4-3 putouts for the Ballers and Luke Short here in the first. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the first inning, no score between Oakland and Glacier. Logan Beard is next, second baseman for the Range Riders. Beard 1 for 5 with 3 RBI Thursday. Also had a sac fly for one of those RBI. He takes in the turf, 1-0. Did not play in yesterday's game. Beard leading the team with 39 RBI, 30 walks, 50 strikeouts, and a .389 on-base percentage. 1-0 to the righty Beard from the lefty Short. Is a ball low? No. Called a strike? Oh, man, that's even worse than the one that was challenged by Ashworth. 1-1 swung on and missed. Man, so now Oakland had the one bad call. That caused Harris to strike out to end the inning, but now Glacier has seen multiple bad calls against them. Beard foul tips it into and out of the mitt of Tatum. That would have been strike 3. Instead, it's still 1-2. Man. Whew. I'm going to try not to look at TrackMan too intently today. I have a feeling it's just going to leave me frustrated. Another 1-2. That's well upstairs. 2 outs, nobody on for Beard. 7 doubles, 6 homers this year. One of the team's best hitters. Take strike 3 at the bottom of the zone, and this one clearly was a strike, but Beard's not upset about that pitch. He's upset about the pitch that was called a strike from a few pitches prior. Short goes down looking, or Beard goes down looking, and Short pitches a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning. Let's go to the second. No score here from Kalispell. Oakland and Glacier on 860 AM The Answer. No score in the top of the second inning. Range Riders hosting the Oakland Ballers. 5th game of a 6-game series. Ballers will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate here in the top of the second inning. Almanza, Helmick, and Allgaier due up against Sean Brennan. Brennan making just his 4th professional start, 22 years of age, from Hatfield, Pennsylvania. Hatfield, in case you didn't know, is a suburb of Philadelphia, just to the northwest. It's between Philadelphia and Allentown, Pennsylvania. Brennan, the righty, facing Christian Almanza, left-handed hitter, with no score in the top of the second. First pitch of the inning is called a strike off the plate. Oh, stop looking at TrackMan, Nevada. Stop, it's not good for your health. I need to click off of that. Oh, it's 0-1 on Almanza. And then he hits it right back up the middle to the shortstop, Howell, who has plenty of time, and throws to first for out number 1. Next up, Lou Helmick. In the top of the second inning, no score, Ballers and Range Riders. Ballers coming into this game as the first half champions. 2-2 though in the second half. That's even with the Glacier Range Riders at 2-2. The best teams so far in this second half are Yuba Sutter and Rocky Mountain. Not surprising, they were both very good in the first half. Lou Helmick, first pitch swinging, fouls it off and loses the bat as it tumbles into the Ballers dugout. I don't think the bat broke, fortunately, but he'll need some additional pine tar. It's 0-1. That one was, to say the least, embarrassing. Lou Helmick, I don't think he's going to put any extra pine tar on it. I think he's just going to go right back up there. He does reach and rub his right hand on the turf to hopefully gain some traction. He swung at a high fastball and just came up empty there. You could tell what he was trying to do, but he lost the bat in the process. 0-1. Helmick takes in. Called a strike. That was truly a strike. 0-2. No score. Top of the second. 1 out. Bases empty. Helmick way behind. 0-2. 1 for 4 yesterday. Helmick swings late. A protection swing. And the 84-mile-an-hour cutter stayed high. No, that's not a cutter. That is a different pitch. That is the splitter. But that was well north of the zone from Brennan. I've seen a lot of pitchers recently that have had splitters. Next one also stays high. Again, the splitter, but not really commanding it. So it's 1-2 to Helmick. Ballers are dropping down the list offensively in the Pioneer League. They're now 8th in the league in batting average. Helmick takes low, 2-2, and that's due to a series in which they have yet to reach double-digit hits. They've gotten 8 hits twice. Helmick reaching for some more turf pellets to make sure the bat doesn't slip anymore. Two and two. Brennan from the stretch, kicks, fires. Helmick takes in. Good pitch there. The fastball in from Brennan. No chase, though, from Lou Helmick. Lou getting on base at a 4.03 clip. Not too shabby. Full count here for the big lefty, Lou Helmick. 6'5", 198. Pitch from Brennan. Helmick smacks it on the ground towards first. It's the second baseman, Beard, who fields. His flip to first is just in time to get Helmick. That was a pretty chaotic play because Brennan, Beard, and Rago were all converging. The pitcher, the first baseman, and the second baseman. In the end, it is Beard who makes the putout, 43, for out number 2. Brings up Jake Allgaier, who got his first day off yesterday after starting his first 3 games as a baller, and is 3 for 10 so far for Oakland with a couple walks and 3 runs scored. Allgaier takes in the turf, 1-0. 23 years of age from Channahon, Illinois. Traded to Oakland from the American Association's Gary South Shore Railcats on Monday. 1-0 to the lefty switch hitter. Smacks it off to the left, foul in the air, 1-1, out of play. No score, 2 outs, nobody on, top of the second. Glacier and Oakland, game 5 of the 6-game set. Series tied at 2. First time the Ballers have lost 2 games in a series since I don't even know when. Allgaier takes high, 2-1. If I had to guess, it was probably back against Missoula. Sounds right. Two-one toss to Allgaier. Foul tip into and out of the mitt of Ratfield. Yeah, it was Missoula the last time the Ballers lost 2 games in a series. That was a 3-game series. They lost that series. Their only series loss of the year. And that was all the way back in mid-June. So it's been over a month since the Ballers lost back-to-back games. 2-2 toss from Brennan. Allgaier takes low. 0 for 4 on Thursday with 2 strikeouts, but Wednesday in the series, 2 for 3, and also had a hit in his Oakland debut. The switch hitting DH Allgaier has worked the count full with 2 outs. Brennan set at the belt, first base side of the rubber, delivers, and Allgaier a high chopper towards third into the mitt of Mabry, and the throw is picked at first. It's a 5-3 putout and an impressive play by Mabry for out number 3. Ballers ground out. All 3 batters retired in order in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. It's Oakland and Glacier, 0-0 on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the second, no score here from Glacier. The Ballers and Range Riders tied up 0-0 here in the bottom of the second. 4, 5, and 6 due up against Luke Short. I'm Devon Cullen, Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. And today is July 19th, 2024, so it's time for this day in Oakland baseball history. The headline, a year ago today, Ballers grabbed first victory of second half. Behind a strong start by reigning Pioneer League Pitcher of the Week, Christian Cosby, and a quick start offensively. The Ballers beat the High Wheelers 8-1 a year ago today. First pitch of this inning is outside, ball one on Casarella. Oakland had a 3-game losing streak at the time of the win a year ago today, 1-1 now after a strike on Casarella. And Christian Cosby shut out the High Wheelers over 5+ frames. 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. Pushed his scoreless streak to 11 1/3 innings. Just 4 hits and 2 walks for Cosby, who is now an Atlantic. No, not that one. American Association All-Star. There it is. 1-2. Casarello rips a line drive into right field and has the first hit of the game for Glacier. 2 strikes, single into right for the Glacier DH. Talking about this day in Oakland baseball history, July 19th, 2024. Ballers win 8-1 against the High Wheelers. Ballers ambushed the starter Ben Ferrer for 4 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. Peyton Harden had a first pitch single. Noah Martinez had an RBI knock. First pitch to Liniak is high and away. Dondre Hubbard, a 2-run double down the left field line. And then Josh Leslie with an RBI bloop single. Foul ball off to the right by Liniak, 1-1. This day in Oakland baseball history, Trevor Halsema had a double for an RBI to make it 5-0 Oakland. Josh Leslie, opposite field 2-run single, made it 8-0 late in the game. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Liniak. And the combination of Cosby, Derek Cherry, Jake Daly, and Brody Iglite held the High Wheelers to 1 unearned run over the course of the contest. Whoops. Another 1-2 from short. This one ripped foul to left field. So that was this day in Oakland baseball history. Ballers snapped a losing streak. They're trying to do it again today here on July 19th, 2025. Still 1-2. The lefty short to the righty Liniak. Foul tip at the plate. Count remains 1-2. Liniak 3 for 14 in the series. 2 hits coming on Thursday. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts yesterday. To the count. Short has a runner at first, goes home and loops in a breaking ball. It's called for a strike on the outside corner. Ring him up. Liniak frozen for out number 1. Second strikeout for Shorty. That was just on the edge as well. Nice pitch from Luke Short. Brings up Josh Rego, who did impress me in the home run derby pregame. He won his battle with Oakland's first competitor, which was Cam Buford. First pitch fouled back for a ball. Scary looking bug just flew into the press box. I'm going to try to open the window so it can fly out of here. All right, now both windows are open, so it should be able to find its way out. 0-1. Rego powers it left field, but Helmick is there. Backs up for out number 2. That was a similar swing to the ones that Rego had in the derby. Good swing, but it's just a second out. Brings up Kenny Lavari with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. No score here from Kalispell. Casarella with his leadoff single is still stuck at first base. Now Lavari, the lefty, against Short, the lefty, with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Lavari 1 for 3 yesterday, walked and grounded into a double play. That's not an option here. Short throws over the first, and Casarella is back standing. Both teams with hits so far, but no runs through almost 2 full innings of play. Lavari hitting .251 over his 47 games. Pitch near the outside, 90. No, just low for a ball. 1-0. Both teams have struggled offensively in the series. Glacier had 12 runs 2 days ago. Lavari pokes a line drive into center field base hit, thinking 3 is Casarella, but he stops at second. Wanted to go first to third, but it's just a single with 2 outs for Lavari. His 3rd hit of the series brings up Donovan Ratfield, who has not been retired yet in his professional career. Hits here with 2 outs and 2 on for Glacier in the bottom of the 2nd. Scoreless game. Short the lefty against Ratfield, the righty. Thursday against Oakland in his pro debut, reached in all 5 plate appearances. Wide stance right-handed hitter. First pitch from short is fouled off. Good changeup from Shorty. Nothing in 1. Ratfield 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, a couple RBI, a double, a walk, and was hit by a pitch twice on Thursday. A very memorable first professional game in which Glacier won 12-2. 0-1 on the inside corner for a strike. Nothing in 2. Ratfield had a game-tying double in the 4th inning on Thursday. Runners are Casarella and Lavari. No score in the bottom of the 2nd. And there are 2 outs. Pitch. Loops in, strike 3, no doubt about it. 78 curled into the outside edge, and Ratfield is retired for the first time as a pro. Short with 3 strikeouts, all looking as the Range Riders get 2 hits, no runs, no errors, and Short leaves a pair in the 2nd inning. We go to the 3rd. No score. Oakland and Glacier here from Kalispell on 860 AM. The Answer. Start of the 3rd here from Kalispell. No score between the Ballers and the Range Riders. 8-9-1 due up against Sean Brennan. Ballers with 1 hit so far, a Davis Druick 2-out double in the 1st. Otherwise, Brennan in each inning has gotten all 3 outs in the same way, striking out all 3 in the 1st, 3 straight groundouts in the 2nd inning. Ballers' offense has been super sluggish here in Kalispell. They have not scored more than 5 runs. They have not collected more than 8 hits. Could this maybe be the inning that wakes the bats up? It's Dylan Tatum first against Sean Brennan. Righty-righty battle. First pitch of the inning to Tater is low, 1-0. I'll say it once more. Dylan Tatum has not homered in 13 days, almost 2 weeks. Last homer, July 6th at Rocky Mountain. 1-0. Tatum takes high, 2-0. Ballers have not been clicking offensively, and that means the long ball has also been down in this series. Only 2 home runs in the series. Cobb had 1 yesterday. Almanza a few games ago. 2-0. Tatum takes a strike. Bottom of the zone, 2-1. The throw from the catcher Ratfield leaks away from the pitcher Brennan, who has to run towards third to pick up the baseball. Beautiful day in Kalispell, overcast. Wind slowly gusting. Two one. Tatum takes off the plate. 3-1. It's challenged by Sean Brennan, and you know what happens when a pitcher challenges? He's wrong. It'll stand. It's a confirmed ball, so Glacier's 1 for 2 on their challenges. I don't really know what Brennan was thinking right there. I mean, it's already been a pitcher-friendly strike zone, so then to challenge that is head-scratching. 3-1 here to Tatum. He takes off the plate. That's ball 4. Good eye from Dylan Tatum as he walks on 5 pitches. First walk from Brennan. It's Tatum's 21st free pass of the year. Brings up Nick Leahy with no one out in the top of the 3rd. Ballers and Range Riders, nothing here from Kalispell in game 5 of 6 from Kalispell. Leahy, the 9-hitter today. 3 for 10 in the series. First pitch from Brennan. Leahy looks at ball 1. He's just missing outside. The righty Brennan. Leahy go-ahead 2-run single Wednesday's game. Drove in 3 in the 5-2 win. Tatum has a sizable lead at first, not too big. Leahy chops it off the plate, rolls towards third, bounces foul. That would have been an infield hit. Maybe. Because Mabry is pretty good at third base. And he's made some spectacular plays at the hot corner. Ballers have just 1 hit so far. 8 batters in. A Davis Druick double into right center in the first. Playing the Star Wars Cantina music again here at Glacier Bank Park for this 1-1 pitch from the righty Brennan to the right-handed hitting Leahy. Leahy looks at a strike, and Leahy challenges. That's way off the plate, so he is correct. It's not going to be 1-2, it's 2-1. Leahy knows it too. Yeah, I think hopefully that challenge by Leahy can help Alec Conwell to get some sort of consistency, because he called that a ball, that same exact pitch, and that was challenged by the pitcher, Brennan. Now he calls it a strike. Leahy holds up, a called strike again. This one's at the low outside corner. He calls time. That was a really good pitch, breaking ball from Brennan, and caught the low outside corner. It's 2-2. Would have been strike 3, so it's a good thing that Leahy challenged the previous pitch. Leahy has driven in 27 in 31 games. Right-handed batter with Tatum at first. And a check on Tatum. He slides in safely head first. Nobody out. Start of the 3rd inning, scoreless game here from Flathead Field in Kalispell, Montana. Second trip here for the Ballers this year. They won the last series here 5-1. Leahy looks at ball 3. That's off the plate. That's good. There's a bunch of pitches that Brennan has missed at pretty much that exact same distance away from the plate, but Conwell has called some of them strikes, some of them balls, and good to see that one called a ball because it was a ball. Full count here. Brennan delivers. Tatum runs. Leahy swings and bounces it up the middle, and this is a double play. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The only reason that the Range Riders turned the double play is because Tatum was stealing, and that meant Beard was covering second base, and the ball was hit right to second. That was something exactly like that happened for Oakland against the Rocky Mountain Vibes at home last week. I believe it was the Sunday game. And it's a 4-3 double play to make there be 2 outs. And Tremaine Cobb Jr. takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Dumb luck against the Ballers here in the top of the 3rd. 0-1 on Cobb. He takes a strike. It's a close one, but it looks like it did just clip the outside corner, 0-2. So Cobb way behind. He struck out first time facing Brennan. The 0-2 toss. Cobb takes off the plate, 90 miles an hour. Way off the dish. 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. Base is empty after the double play ball. 1-2 toss. Cobb takes again. Way outside. Baller still just 1 hit. 1 time through the order. Druick's double in the first inning. 2-2 from Brennan, the righty, to Cobb, right-handed hitter. Brennan taking forever. Still has. Pitch clock wasn't even going. And he strikes him out. Come on. Get on this. Get on the pitch clock. It was stuck at 18, so of course Brennan could take as long as he wanted before striking out Cobb. No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left on base. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Oakland nothing, Glacier nothing. Here on 860 AM, The Answer. No score, home third here from Kalispell. Oakland and Glacier, game 5 of 6 from the Treasure State? Wait, Gem State? I'm confusing, I think, Idaho with Montana. No, the Treasure State. Okay, I had it right the first time. Also called Big Sky Country because there's a big, beautiful sky basically every day here in Montana. It's a beautiful place to take in a baseball game. Big crowd here. There's a crowd. It's not a super well attended game, I guess, tonight on this Saturday night here in Montana. It's no Raimondi, we'll put it that way. 9-1-2 to face Luke Short in the inning. The first batter, JT Mabry, takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. Mabry 1 for 2 on Wednesday. This is only his second game of the series. Mabry swings and fouls it into the mitt of the catcher Tatum. 0-2. I think I went through the Oakland defense. I'll refresh after Mabry just to make sure. 0-2. Fouled back. And into the Oakland dugout over on the right side after hitting the netting. Mabry 6 for 17 this season against Oakland. Not too shabby. 2-strike pitch once more. Breaking ball, bounce to the backhand of Leahy at third. His throw is not too high to make sure that Almanza can bring it down. And there's one away. Helmick in left field, Druick in center, Santos in right tonight. Infield left to right, Leahy, Cobb, Harris, Almanza. Tatum does the catching for the lefty Short. First time through for Luke Short. No runs, 2 hits, and 3 strikeouts. 1 out in the bottom of the third, no score, Oakland and Glacier. Here is Kyle Ashworth, the leadoff man. First pitch to the lefty, called a ball. That was just south of the zone. Weirdly, Alec Conwell, despite his inconsistencies on the outside pitch, has nailed those calls at the bottom of the zone. 1-0. Ashworth, line drive into right field, base hit. Ducks in front of Santos, who picks it up after a hop. And it's a 1-out knock for Kyle Ashworth. 3rd hit of the game for Glacier. 5th hit of the series for Ashworth. Brings up Gabe Howell, who is 0 for 1 in this game and came in hitting 109 against the Ballers on the season. 5 for 46. Has homered once. He's also struck out 11 times. First pitch from short, and Howell takes. It's called a ball. It's a strike at the top of the zone. Another missed call. I mean, it's look, Alec Conwell has not been great tonight. Tomorrow's umpire, Shad Chrisman, had probably one of the worst games I've seen this season Thursday. And now Dylan Tatum going to console Luke Short, who's kind of feeling at his side. I wonder if Bruce Valentine needs to come out to check on Shorty. Aaron Miles saying, "What's up?" A little pause in the action here as we check on Luke Short. Dylan Tatum now motions everyone out there. Bruce Valentine comes running out of the dugout behind Jim Diedrich and Aaron Miles, and the entire Ballers infield showing their concern will come check on Luke Short, the lefty for the Ballers. He was feeling sort of near his rib cage on his right side stomach area. Hopefully Luke Short's okay, the lefty for the Ballers. Short, one of the best pitchers in the Pioneer League, 3.75 ERA this season in 48 innings, has 55 strikeouts. Short, the second-year Baller, came via Cal, and Luke Short is exiting this ball game. So Luke Short is leaving this game with an injury in the third inning. Unsure of what it is, but there's no reason to take any amount of risk if you're the Oakland Ballers. You've already clinched a playoff spot. So this game takes a twist early in the third inning. Luke Short exits with one out in the frame. New pitcher when you return. Scoreless game in the bottom of the third. One out in the inning and a runner on first on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Okay. So unfortunately. So unfortunate news here in the bottom of the third. Luke Short has been removed from the game due to an apparent injury. Hopefully this is nothing serious and just precautionary, but Shorty was kind of grabbing at his side, and you don't want to mess with your starting pitcher and make him pitch any longer than he needs to at this point. So hopefully, I, again, don't want to speculate on my end of things, but all I can say is where he was feeling, it was, his midsection, and hopefully it's nothing serious, as Adam Bogosian will enter for the Ballers, and he will get as much time as he wants to warm up with the early departure due to injury of Luke Short. Luke Short's final line for now, he's responsible for Ashworth at first base, is 2 1/3 innings with 3 strikeouts, no runs, and no walks, with 3 hits surrendered. Bogo taking over here in the third inning for the Ballers. Get you his numbers. Adam Bogosian, 5.32 ERA, 1-0 record, 16th appearance, 23 2/3 innings, 32 hits, 7 walks, 21 strikeouts for the 22-year-old right-handed pitcher from Brooklyn, New York. Bogosian, 6'3", 210-pound righty, pitched Sunday against the Rocky Mountain Vibes, pitched an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, only 1 was earned, and he struck out a pair. Believe it or not, this is the first time he is pitching here in Kalispell. We are 11 games in here in Kalispell. The Ballers have played now most of 2 series here in Montana, and Adam Bogosian had not featured until game 11 of those 2 series. Bogosian has pitched twice against Glacier this season. First time was on June 19th at Raimondi, an inning and 2/3, a hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts, and then again on June 21st, only lasted 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, and 3 earned runs that day. Again, both appearances at home. Has not taken this turf mound here in Kalispell yet this season. Score is 0-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 out, runner on first as Bogosian comes on for Luke Short, who exits with an injury. Bogo played for the Trenton Thunder of the MLB Draft League after finishing his senior year at Lafayette in 2024. For Trenton, had a 5.85 ERA, a 1-0 record, 18 appearances, 5 holds, 1 save opportunity, 20 innings, 13 runs allowed, all earned, 1 homer allowed, 7 walks, 19 strikeouts. So honestly, pretty similar numbers here in the pros. Slightly better, obviously, with the 5.32 ERA and has 1 save. But Bogosian still very young and has good stuff. 4 years at Lafayette in the Patriot League, playing D1. Had his final year there, a 7.28 ERA, 21 appearances, 55 and 2/3 innings, 28 walks to 48 strikeouts. So that's just a little tail of the tape for Adam Bogosian as he is finally done warming up after the injury and faces Gabe Howell, his first ever hitter faced here in Kalispell. Bogo on, short off. We'll try to get some explanation if we can for Luke and his early departure, as the first pitch for Bogosian is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Ashworth at first base after his single into right center field. 0-2, runner goes. Howell taps it foul, still 0-2. One out in the inning after Mabry grounded out to start the frame. That was a good pitch from Bogosian there, outside off the plate. Another 0-2 from Bogo. That's outside once more. The fastball, no chase, 1-2. Previous pitch was not a fastball, but maybe the changeup from Adam Bogosian. Actually, no, that was not the changeup. Next pitch is popped up foul, maybe playable right field. Almanza can't make the catch. He slowed up a little too quickly. He should have ran a bit more, and he reached out his mitt and could not corral the foul pop fly. So it's still 1-2 on Howell. It was a tough play for Almanza. He had a long way to go, and that ball was not hit that high in the air. It wasn't a towering pop-up. Runner on first is Ashworth. Still just 1 out in the inning. Let's see if Bogo can't roll up a double play right here. That's even better than a foul pop-out. Howell swings and bounces it to short. Cobb flips to second for 1. Throw to first is late. A little too lackadaisical from the Ballers defensively, and Howell hustles it out for a fielder's choice. But man, that's nearly back-to-back days where I have immediately summoned a double play with the broadcaster's curse. I guess in this case, it would have been for the Ballers. In both cases, it was for the Ballers. So the broadcaster's blessing, maybe. Here's Logan Beard with 2 down. First pitch, outside, 1-0. Logan Beard, first time up, struck out looking against short. I think the reason the Ballers didn't turn 2 there is it was a bit too high of a chopper to shortstop for Cobb. Foul ball off of himself, Beard, 1-1. And so because that ball was chopped slower to short, it was unable to be turned for a double play. It was only 88 off the bat. It wasn't a rocket shot at shortstop. 1-1 on Beard with 2 outs. Runner on first, Howell. Glacier at the plate. No score, bottom of the third. Bogo's next. Is grounded to third. Leahy makes the play in fair territory. Throws to first in time for out number 3. So no runs in the inning. 1 hit, 1 left for Glacier. Luke Short sadly exits with an injury. We'll hope to get an update on him. Probably won't get it till after the game, and I'll try to update you all tomorrow. And again, we hope and pray that it's nothing serious for Luke Short and he's able to hopefully go. If not next start, then maybe he just skips a start and then is back in 2 weeks. But again, that's enough speculation. No score heading to the 4th. Oakland and Glacier on 860 AM. The Answer. Start of the 4th, no score here from Kalispell. Ballers will send 2, 3, and 4 to the plate against Sean Brennan. Was not expecting him to last longer than Luke Short in this game, but Short with a middle body injury, injury to his midsection of some sort, exited the game on his own terms in the bottom of the 3rd inning. I guess not really on his own terms. He wanted to stay in the game if possible, but he was not feeling up to it. Sean Brennan faces Isai Santos and locates a first pitch strike. Santos challenges it. You never see that. He's unfortunately incorrect, and Oakland has now 3 challenges remaining either way. They need to get 2 or 1 of the next 2 right in order to keep it going to get that final challenge. Both teams have challenged several times already in this game. As Santos takes the first pitch strike. To his credit, it was a high outside pitch, just caught the corner. Santos wasn't crazy for challenging. Santos foul tips the next one, a high fastball at 90, and it's 0-2. Santos' first time out to the plate, struck out against Brennan, who has 4 punch-outs, and they've all come against the top 4 in the order. Cobb twice, Santos once, Harris once. 1, 2, and 4 hitters. 0-2 from the righty Brennan to the left-handed hitting Santos is on the outside corner for a called 3rd strike. Santos goes down looking. 5th strikeout for Brennan. And there's 1 away here in the 4th. It's been, for the most part, a pretty rough series for the top 2 in the order. Although they've actually had their bright spots. Isai Santos had the 2-run triple back in Game 1 of the series on Tuesday. That was the difference in the 3-1 win. Here's Davis Druick with 1 out. Continues just to torch Glacier pitching. And he launches the first pitch he sees deep to right center field and into the mitt of Liniak for out number 2. Goodness, he gave it a ride. 101 off the bat. 380 feet later, it's just an out. Still a well-hit ball. It's just not carrying for Oakland here in Glacier. Not this series, just 2 home runs. 2 outs in the frame. Nobody on for Danny Harris. Top of the 4th, no score from Kalispell. Harris takes a first pitch strike. 0-1. Harris in the series, 1 for 15. The team is just, you can feel it. They're on a collective slump. But if it's going to come at some point this season, it better be now than later. Harris swings and lasers one pretty deep to right field, being pushed back Ashworth, and just shy of the track, he makes the catch for out number 3. Ballers starting to hit the ball a little bit in this fourth inning. Two pretty deep flyouts for Davis Druick and Danny Harris, but in the end, they're retired in order in the fourth inning and do not have a hit since the first. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 0-0, Oakland and Glacier on 860 AM, The Answer. Bottom of the fourth here from Kalispell. 0-0 between the Ballers and the Range Riders. Adam Bogosian pitching in the bottom of the fourth because of Luke Short's injury in the bottom of the third. 4, 5, and 6 to face Bogo. I think it's time for another wide world of baseball. And this is actually going to be a repeat one. Just to refresh you all, or in case you didn't hear it, I wanted to paint a little picture of where we are here in Kalispell, Montana, the home of the Glacier Range Riders. Bottom of the fourth, Casarella against Bogo. First pitch of the inning is called a ball, 1-0. That looked like it was on the inside corner, just saying. Kalispell is a city in northwest Montana in Flathead County. It's a gateway to Glacier National Park. There's a strike, outer half, 1-1. There's grizzly bears, bighorn sheep in Glacier National Park, mountain goats. It's a beautiful spot. I got to go there today and see the red buses that take people around. Hard hit ground ball to short, gobbled up by Cobb. Throw to first, offline, but Almanza stretches and catches for out number 1. Bottom of the fourth, no score. Oakland and Glacier. Liniak next with 1 out. Kalispell has a population just shy of 30,000. It's 7 miles north of Flathead Lake. I have family down there in the city called Lakeside, right by Flathead Lake. It's the largest natural freshwater lake in the western U.S. by surface area. Liniak chops one foul off his foot to third, 0-1. It's also North Kalispell of the Flathead Indian Reservation, home to several indigenous people groups. Native Americans have lived in Montana for more than 12,000 years based on archaeological findings. Oh, 1. Pop foul behind home, 0-2. Again, Glacier National Park, just northeast of Kalispell, 30 to 45 minutes up the road. Melting glaciers, alpine meadows, carved valleys, and spectacular lakes. The main thing you do basically, and I did this today, when you get in to Glacier National Park is you going to the Sun Road. That'll take you further into the park. 0-2. Liniak takes strike 3. That's on the outer half. And Bogo gets his first K of the day, 2 down. So you hop on going to the Sun Road. You can get to the Logan Pass, and then what I would have done today if I had time is I would have made the hike to Hidden Lake, which is one of the more popular attractions, and such a gorgeous view with the lake surrounded by the mountains. If you have a chance, definitely go check out Glacier National Park and Kalispell at some point in your life. First pitch outside to Rego, 1-0. Very cool that the Ballers play in this league where they get to see so many cool things and big mountains. There's a ball, 2-0. That was at the bottom of the zone. Oh my. Stop looking at TrackMan Nevada. That'll wrap the wide world of baseball for today. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the fourth. 2-0 toss, swung on and missed. 91 south of the zone. That had some really nice dip to it, the fastball from Bogo. 2-1 on the right-handed hitting Rago. Bogo's next is bounced to short. 2 big hops for Tremaine Cobb Jr., who sizzles it to first for out number 3. And Glacier's retired in order in the 4th. Bogosian is retired all 5 he's faced. Let's go to the 5th. No score, Oakland and Glacier on 860 AM, The Answer. Starting the 5th here from Kalispell. The Oakland Ballers and Glacier Range Riders knotted up 0-0 on 860 AM, The Answer, and on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday night. I'm Nevada Cullen. Mike Russell is back in our 860 AM, The Answer studio. Almanza, Helmick, Allgaier to face Brennan. That's lefty, lefty, switch hitting, lefty. And Brennan, the right-handed pitcher, has not completed 5 innings yet as a pro, attempting to do that today. 4 2/3 his season high. That was Sunday at Billings, and a 3-2 loss for Glacier. The righty against the lefty, Almanza. First pitch of the inning. Almanza takes. That's outside, 1-0. Almanza, his first time up, grounded out to shortstop. You look at both of these teams defensively. They're tops in the league. Almanza late swing and a miss, 1-1. Oakland 970 fielding percentage. That's first. Glacier 968. That's third. 58 errors for Oakland, 59 for Glacier. You look at the pitching staffs as well. 2 of the best in the league. 1-1. Almanza hits it high to right field, but Ashworth covering ground in right center makes the catch. 1 away. No one on. Top of the 5th. No score still from Kalispell. The pitching staff's Oakland 4.29 ERA. That is the best in the league by more than a run. Glacier is just ahead of Yuba Sutter in 4th. They are the 3rd best pitching staff in the league by ERA and also strike out a ton of hitters, up to 2nd in the Pioneer League with 498 strikeouts entering today. Here's Lou Helmick with 1 out. First pitch from Brennan. Outside, ball 1. Helmick first time up, grounded out to second base. 3 for 10 in the series, 2 for 4 on an RBI on Thursday, then 1 for 4 yesterday. Helmick hits it up the middle and has a 3-game hit streak. Just sneaks past Howell, the shortstop, and Beard, the second baseman, and ends up with Liniak in center for a hit. That is Oakland's 2nd hit of the game and first since Davis Druick's double in the first inning. And it was a weak hit at that. An inside pitch, 71 off the bat of Helmick. He's used to hitting it with much more venom. Let's see if Helmick tries to run here. He's the runner at first, 1 out, no score. Top of the 5th. Brennan to the lefty, switch hitter, Allgaier. High and away, that's a pitch out. Radfield dropped it, 1-0. Allgaier 0 for 1 with a ground out to third base. 3 for 11 so far as a baller. Yet to record an RBI or an extra base hit. 3 hits, all singles. Black barreled bat with a tan handle. Allgaier takes. Outside, called a ball. That should have been a strike. Goodness. 2-0. Sean Brennan getting squeezed here in the 5th. Neither team can catch a break. It's going back and forth between a pitcher's strike zone and a hitter's strike zone. Allgaier in the left-handed batter's box. Helmick jumps back to first base as Brennan zips it over there. 2-0 to Helmick here in the top of the 5th. Runner on first, or Allgaier, I should say, is the batter. Helmick is the runner at first. There's no score in this ballgame. Still, no runs. Is this the Pioneer League? I'm not sure. Allgaier swings, powers it deep left field. Lavari racing back, makes the catch. 2 down. Well hit ball by Allgaier the other way. 87 off the bat, 310 feet. Needed about 30 more feet to get it out of here. I'm going to keep saying it until it happens. Dylan Tatum has not homered in 13 days. He had a crazy run where he launched in the span of 5 games, 8 homers. That was at the end of June. But here in July, not as many long balls. Tatum takes, it's a balk. That's what happened. Balk on Brennan. Helmick in the scoring position with 2 away. Top of the 5th, no score. Tatum doesn't need a homer to put the ballers on the board first. A simple base hit would probably do with Helmick's speed at second. He'll be running on contact. No score, top of the 5th, 2 outs. First pitch to Tatum, no balk, and Tatum lasers it into the gap in right center field, and the ballers are on the board. Helmick scores easily. Tatum could have a triple here. He stops at second base with an RBI double with 2 outs in the 5th. He took an outside pitch, hit it 100 off the bat, 306 feet to right center. And finally, the ballers get to Brennan here in the 5th. A balk helps as Helmick scored from second on that easy 2-out double for Dylan Tatum. RBI double for Tatum. He's up to 51 RBI on the year. That is second best on this baller squad. Again, 100 off the bat, 306 feet to right center field. Launch angle of nearly 21 degrees. So he just served it on a line in the right center. There was no chance for Liniak or Ashworth to cut it off, and it rolled to the wall. 2 outs for Nick Leahy. Ballers up 1-zip. In the top of the 5th, still 2 outs, and a runner back at second. First toss from Brennan. Leahy takes outside, 1-0. Last pitch was not a bad pitch either to Tatum. It was on the low outside corner, but Tatum still ripped it into the gap in right center. Brennan looks back at second. Pitches to Leahy, who fouls it back. 1-1. Leahy hit into a double play last time. 4-3 went the Twin killing. Not an option this time, not with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Ballers finally on the board. This game was scoreless until the 5th. Leahy takes outside. 2-1. This is just like the game on Tuesday, July 15th, game 1 of this series. 3-1 Ballers win. Ballers did not score until the 5th. They scored 3 runs in that inning. Leahy swings and misses, 2-2. It feels like Leahy might need to homer here for the Ballers to get 3 runs in this 5th inning. Leahy has 7 homers, and 6 of them have come in his last 11 games. Hot-hitting Leahy in a 2-2 count, 2 outs, top of the 5th. Runner at second after his RBI double is Tatum. Brennan looks his way, comes home, and Leahy takes strike 3. That's off the plate. Another missed call from Conwell. Count him up. That's 6 strikeouts for Brennan as Leahy goes down looking to end the top of the 5th inning. A run on a couple hits. Dylan Tatum puts the Ballers ahead here in Kalispell. 1-0 Ballers over the Range Riders heading to the home 5th on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Bottom of the 5th inning. The Range Riders coming up to bat, trailing for the first time today, 1-0. The Ballers get a run in the top of the 5th thanks to a Dylan Tatum RBI double. Bogosian to face 7, 8, 9 here in the bottom of the 5th from Kalispell. Ballers up 1-0 on the Range Riders. Lavari, Ratfield, and Mabry due up against Bogosian. Lavari in this game a single into center field. So he's 1 for 1. Lavari, left-handed hitter, facing the righty, Adam Bogosian, who has retired all 5 he's faced so far. First pitch of the bottom of the 5th inning is called a strike on the outside corner. And that was actually at the bottom of the zone and correctly called a strike. All right. Oh, boy. The zone has teeter-tottered between being good and being bad. 0-1, ground ball up the middle. Cobb gets there, twisting. Throw to first is late, and Lavari has an infield hit. Nice play by Tremaine Cobb Jr. Ended up in the outfield and really showed off the range there. Impressive stuff from Trey. Lavari sounded like he broke the bat there. Brings up Donovan Ratfield. Glacier didn't have their first base coach out there yet. I don't know what happened. He's running out there now. So Ratfield, right-handed hitter against Bogosian, right-handed pitcher. Interesting part of the strategy of this game. Ratfield pops it up on the infield. This should be out number 1. Leahy is there. The third baseman wants it and makes the catch. There's one away. But you think about how Glacier lined up. But they lined up to face Luke Short, who was the starter for this game, a lefty. And now Bogosian has to come into this game because Luke Short exits with an injury. And now they have to face a righty. And this lineup was set to face a lefty. So hopefully Bogosian can use it to his advantage as he misses high there to Mabry, the 9-hitter, 1-0. And look, truth be told, he has used it to his advantage so far. He has been lights out. 1-0. Mabry takes inside, pops off the mitt of Tatum, not far enough away to allow Lavari to advance to second. 2-0 on Mabry, who grounded out to third his first time up. Two-0 count. Right-handed hitting Mabry, right-handed pitcher Bogosian looks towards first, comes home. And there's a line drive in a right field. Base hit. Thinking about going first to third there was Lavari. He'll stop, though, as the throw comes in from Santos. Lavari to second. The 9-hitter Mabry comes up with a hit, and if Glacier wants to tie this game, this feels like a good spot to do it, as the 7 and 9 hitters get on with one out for the top of the lineup, and Kyle Ashworth, who singled off of Short before Short's day came to an end. So this is the last batter that Bogosian has not faced. Again, his first career outing here in Kalispell. It took 11 games out here for the Ballers, and finally, Bogo gets to pitch here in Montana, specifically at Glacier Bank Park. First and second for Glacier, bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Ballers, 1 out. Lefty Ashworth swings and misses, pitch in the turf. 0-1. Tatum gives a nod towards Bogosian, says, yeah, that was a good pitch right there. Lavari at second, Mabry at first base. Ashworth is 1 for 2 in the game, 5 hits in the series. Had a couple RBI on Thursday. 0-1 is low. Ashworth, a California native, Santa Ana. He went to Long Beach State, played there for 3 years. Second team All-Big West this year, his grad year in 2025. Led the Beach in batting average, runs scored, hits, doubles, you name it. 1-1. Bogo delivers. Ashworth hits it right back to him. Throw to second is, saved by Harris. His throw to third is not in time. Wow. So Bogo almost threw it into the outfield, costing Glacier, or giving Glacier a run to tie the game, but Danny Harris made a diving stop to prevent that ball from going to center after the bad throw by Bogo. So I'm going to have to say that's an error that allows Mabry to get to second base, and Ashworth reaches on the fielder's choice. Bases are loaded for Glacier with one out here in the fifth. That should have been an inning-ending double play, but Bogo threw it offline to second, and now here's Howell. First pitch is bounced to second. Harris flips for one. The shovel to Cobb. The throw to first in time. 4-6-3 double play. And Bogo, in the end, does yield a twin killing. He rolls up a double play ball to get Oakland out of the inning. Without any damage, he strands the bases loaded. No runs on a pair of hits and one error to left for Glacier in the frame. It's 1-0 Oakland heading to the sixth on 860 AM The Answer. Here in the top of the sixth, the Glacier Range Riders will go to the pen and pull their rookie Sean Brennan for another rookie in Nick Ferrazzi. It's a 1-0 Oakland lead in the start of the sixth inning, and Sean Brennan was great, but we'll get to him in a second. First, Nick Ferrazzi, Thursday against Oakland, made his pro debut, pitched a hitless inning, struck out a batter. Righty, 6'2", 185, 24 years old from Houston. 2025, he pitched for Houston Christian in the Lone Star Conference. 1-1 record, 19 appearances, 3.96 ERA, 25 innings, 26 hits, 11 walks, 27 strikeouts this collegiate season for Ferrazzi. He has to face the top of the Oakland lineup. It starts with Tremaine Cobb Jr. And I'll also get the numbers for you as Cobb fouls it off to the right. 0-1, out of play. The numbers for Sean Brennan: a career high 5 innings pitched in his fourth pro start, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. 6 strikeouts, a career high for the Rook. Cobb takes in there, 0-2. Got a breaking ball right over the plate. So Ferrazzi quickly ahead of Cobb. Let's see, Thursday, Ferrazzi pitched the 9th. He faced the bottom of the lineup, Helmick, Tatum, and Allgaier. Next to Cobb in the turf, 1-2. Ferrazzi would have to pitch, well, I'd say have to pitch 2 innings, but he would just have to be left in long enough to face those 3 again. I don't think he will be left in that long, not in a 1-0 game. Cobb takes low, just south of the knees. It's 2-2. Cobb is 0 for 2 in this game with 2 strikeouts. He is just 2 for 18 in the series. The good news is he struck out 3 times yesterday and then homered in his third at-bat. 2-2 from Ferrazzi to Cobb. Cobb pounds it into the ground. 2 hops for the shortstop Howell. His throw to first in time for the 6-3 putout. Got a high fastball, Cobb, and somehow hit it down. Impressive that he didn't get under that ball, but to me, that, I don't know. I'm not going to try to weigh in on it one way or another. I think that's just impressive that he was able to ground that ball above the zone, just above the zone. Here's Isai Santos with 1 out, bases empty. Takes a strike. Ballers up 1-0. Top of the 6th inning. Santos has 2 strikeouts today. Left-handed batter against the righty Ferrazzi. 0-1. Santos tried not to offer and did not offer. It's 1-1. Pitch was low. You could say Glacier has trimmed the fat of their bullpen and really of their starting rotation, too. They had some starters that were not doing well. Santos takes a strike, bottom of the zone, 1-2. But Rain Supple, theoretically, was kind of, I think that change has had the biggest impact. Supple was starting. He wasn't doing great. He goes back to the bullpen. He's their closer again, and look what he did last night. 2 strikeouts in a scoreless ninth to get the save in a 3-2 game against the Ballers. Not too bad for Supple. 1-2 from the righty Ferrazzi. Santos takes high and away, 2-2. Santos 2 for 10 in the series. Did have his first career triple on Tuesday. Drove in a pair with 2 outs in the 5th to knock Jared Engman, the starter, out of the game. The Ballers will see Engman tomorrow. Ballers tomorrow, TBA. Isai Santos takes high and away, 3-2. There is a chance that it is, once again, Oakland's starter from Tuesday, Zach St. Pierre, going again on Sunday. Aaron Miles has voiced his wishes to go to a 5-man rotation. Wind blowing out toward left field. Santos on 3-2 hits it there as the ball carries to Lavari. Lavari still going back. Can't make the catch. It's a ground rule double. The ball just kept carrying to left field over Lavari's head, and Santos ends up hitting it 329 feet to left field over the head of Lavari for a ground rule double. Only 86 off the bat. That's not even a barrel, and Santos still gets a double out of it. That's his 4th extra base hit against Glacier this year and his 7th double of the season. Ground rule double for Isai Santos in the 6th. Those are rare, but with the springy turf here at Glacier Bank Park, that's going to happen. So Santos is replaced by Darryl Buggs, pinch running for the Ballers. Darryl Buggs the 2nd in to run for Santos at second base. That's plenty of speed there. And a base hit from Druick to the outfield ties this, or gives the Ballers a 2-0 lead. First pitch is low. Did he hold his swing? That's the question. Yes. Radfield didn't even appeal to third base. It's 1-0. So Buggs running at second in place of Santos in the top of the 6th. 1-0 Ballers. 1 out in the inning. Druick on 1-0. Takes low. 2-0. Yeah, I don't expect Ferrazzi to throw many competitive pitches to Davis Druick, who has hit 2 balls well today, a double, and then a sharp fly out to center. 2-0. Druick swings, laser over the leaping first baseman Rago and down the right field line for an RBI extra base hit. He cruises into second with a 1-out double and doubles the Baller lead. Oakland 2, Glacier nothing, as Buggs scores from second easily on Drewski's 2nd double of the day. His 2nd game with multiple doubles against Glacier this year. He did the same on June 19th at Raimondi. He has 2 doubles today, this one for an RBI, his 39th RBI of the season. That was a pitch right down the middle, and Druick didn't miss it, just looped it over first for an RBI 2-bagger. Back-to-back doubles for the Ballers here in the 6th. Danny Harris takes outside, 1-0. 2-zip Oakland, top of the 6th. 1 out in the frame, and this Baller offense has finally woken up. They had 1 hit through the first 4 innings. Next to Danny. Swung on a miss on the breaking ball, 1-1. Then the last 2 innings, the Ballers have accumulated 4 hits, and importantly, 3 of them doubles. The Ballers have 4 doubles in this game. Danny Harris has 12 doubles on the season. 2 of them coming against Glacier. 1-1 pitch to the righty. Druick takes off for third, and Harris pounds it up the middle for a base hit. Druick scores easily, and Daniel Harris, the 4th, drives in the 3rd run of the game for Oakland. It's a 2-spot so far in the 6th. It's 3-zip Ballers here in the top of the 6th inning. Still just 1 out on 3 straight Oakland hits. Druick was off and running for third base, and so Harris, who stroked it up the middle, easily scores him with an RBI, his 42nd run batted in this year, Danny Harris. Now it's Christian Almanza. First pitch low in the turf, 1-0. Unfortunately for Ferrazzi, his second pro outing not as good as his first, in which he did not allow a hit in a scoreless inning. This time out, he has allowed 3 straight hits and 2 runs so far with Harris at first base. 1 out in the inning, 1-0 to Almanza. Harris starts towards second, then stops as Almanza takes ball 2 off the dish at 92 miles an hour. 2-0. 3-0 Ballers lead in the top of the 6th inning here from Kalispell. Almanza is 0 for 2 in the game, 5 for 17 in the series with a double and a bomb. Ferrazzi comes home. Almanza takes in the turf. It's 3-0. And this might just be the last batter for Ferrazzi. There is a righty warming in the pen. I think it's Cam Cowan for Glacier, who we have not seen yet in the series. The only other man it could be is Jacob Franks. Almanza takes away inside, ball 4. 4 straight balls to Almanza, brings up Lou Helmick, and brings out Glendon Rush. So this is not it yet for Ferrazzi. That's a second walk of the game for Oakland. Who is that in the pen for Glacier? If it is not Cam Cowan, then I'd be surprised. It looks like number 37, which is Cowan. Because when I looked at the Glacier roster, I'm pretty sure Jason Franks, yes, he's on the IL. Not Jacob Franks, Jason Franks, he's on the IL. So that has to be number 37, Cam Cowan, who we have not seen yet in this series. He's been struggling with his command for Glacier, especially against Oakland. Here's Lou Helmick. 1 out in the inning, 2 on for the Ballers, 3-0 lead. Harris gets a big jump off of second as Helmick strokes it to first. This is a double play chance. Rego to second for 1. The return throw to first not nearly in time, and it is merely a fielder's choice in which Almanza is retired 3-6 and Helmick reaches on, despite hitting it very well. Harris goes to third on the play. Helmick, the problem there, why he was unable to have success on that swing, is the pitch was just too low. He swung at a ball. Brings up Jake Allgaier, who will not hit against Ferrazzi. Ferrazzi is done with just 2 outs recorded in the 6th inning, and we will see Cam Cowan enter. Ballers get 2 in the top of the 6th inning and maybe more. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. We'll talk about Cowan when you return on 860 AM The Answer. Nevada Cohen with you. Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday night. Ballers get 2 so far in the 6th inning, and Glacier goes to a new pitcher with 2 outs and men at the corners. It's Cam Cowan, the righty, 6'5", 260, 25 years old from Ankeny, Iowa. And Cowan Sunday against Billings this last time out almost a week ago in a 3-2 loss. He was the one who suffered the loss, giving up a hit, an earned run, striking out 1. And this season has a 5.68 ERA, 0-2, 18th appearance, 19 innings, 13 hits, 14 walks, 33 strikeouts. The walks just a bit too high. And the most memorable outing of his 5 against Oakland this year was back on June 17th, a 6-5 Oakland win in which he blew the save, got the loss, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, a strikeout, and 1 wild pitch, which brought home Tremaine Cobb Jr. for the win. Walk-off wild pitch. First to Allgaier is tap foul. Bottom of the zone fastball at 93. Interesting. That's not as hard as Cowan usually throws. We'll monitor that release speed. 3-0 ballers in the top of the 6th. Men at the corners, Harris and Helmick. 2 outs in the frame. Allgaier, the hitter, is 0 for 2. Righty Cowan, lefty Allgaier. Next toss, Allgaier pops it up. Left field, foul ground. Lavari chasing it down, runs out of room. It's 0-2. That was 95. That's more like it from Cowan. But still, we've seen him throw consistently 95, 96, 97, the righty. Glacier has got arms. They've got arms with juice. Oakland does too, but Glacier's arms can really rear back. He's way ahead of Allgaier here. 0-2 from the righty Cowan to the lefty Allgaier. Let's see if Helmick goes here from first. Why not? He does. And the pitch is called a ball. I don't think Ratfield thought it was a ball, but he doesn't challenge it. Helmick steals second without a throw. So Lou in the scoring position. That is Helmick's 7th stolen base. And men at second and third with 2 outs. 1-2 to Allgaier. He takes in the turf, and he's hit. He's hit by the pitch. Interesting. I did not hear that. I heard it bounce. I didn't hear it clip him. So on 1-2, Allgaier hit in the foot, and the bases are full for Dylan Tatum. Well, this could be interesting. Dylan Tatum against Cam Cowan. Bases loaded. Top of the 6th. 3-0 ballers lead. 2 outs in the frame. The runners are Harris, Helmick, and Allgaier, who was just hit by the new pitcher, Cam Cowan. First pitch. Tatum takes in the turf. 1-0. Did not chase the breaking ball there. Dylan Tatum, who had an RBI double last time. He's had a productive day, a walk and a 2-bagger, but still has not homered since July 6th at Rocky Mountain. Don't think he has a grand slam this year either. 1-0. Tatum takes way inside. 92-mile-an-hour fastball in. Whoa, that was actually a strike, and that's challenged. That's a smart challenge. Tatum saying that should not have been granted, and I have to agree. That was a late challenge by the catcher, Ratfield. Umpires are supposed to not grant challenges if players hesitate, and that's what Tatum was arguing there, and I'd have to agree with Dylan there. So instead of 2-0, it's 1-1 after the correct challenge, as that pitch was just on the inside corner on Tatum. 1-1 with the bases loaded. 2 outs in the inning. Tatum swings late on 96. 1-2. Tatum has driven in 51 this season with 7 doubles and 13 bombs. He was the Ballers' best hitter at the end of the first half of the season. 1-2 pitch from the righty Cowan. Tatum takes way inside this time. It's 2-2. This was no doubt about it in. 3-0 Ballers lead in the top of the 6th. 2 in this inning, 1 last inning to take the lead after the game was scoreless through 4. The base is still full of ballers for Dylan Tatum. Deuces wild. Pitch from Cowan. Inside, ball 3. Nowhere to put him. Cowan has to come in here to Dylan Tatum. If not, he'll walk home a run with back-to-back free passes after he hit Allgaier with 2 outs. Came in for Ferrazzi, who could only get 2 outs here in the 6th after he entered for the starter Brennan, who was great. Runners get the head start. Payoff with 2 outs is not even close. It's ball 4. Helmick thinking about taking home himself, but Harris is the one to score as Tatum reaches on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was nowhere near the zone. So it's ball 4. Harris touches home. Helmick to third. Allgaier to second. And it's an RBI walk for Dylan Tatum. He's up to 52 RBI. He has 2 today. Bases full for Nick Leahy. 4-0 Ballers, top of the 6th. 3 in this frame. Leahy, first pitch taken high for a strike, just at the tippy top of the zone, 0-1. Leahy is 0 for 2 today. He's due. Just a measly 1 for 4 yesterday. Had a big 2-run single Wednesday. Leahy takes in 1-1. And that should have been a strike. Was that called a strike? No. Wow. Okay. 1-1 on Leahy. That single, by the way, came with the bases loaded on Wednesday. Hits with the bases loaded here and 2 outs in the 6th. Pitch from Cowan. Leahy takes in 2-1. Ballers lead 4-0 in the top of the 6th. Cowan's been a bit all over the place. Will Leahy see a pitch to hit here on 2-1? Cowan delivers. Leahy swings and bounces it to second. Gobbling it up, throwing to second base just ahead of the sliding Tatum is Beard for out number 3 as Leahy's fielder's choice ends the frame. The Ballers send 9 to the plate in the 6th, and they get 3 runs on 3 hits, including a pair of doubles. They do leave the bases loaded in the frame, but it's an RBI double by Davis Druick, an RBI single by Danny Harris, and an RBI walk by Dylan Tatum that plate the 3 runs in the inning. Ballers lead 4-0 heading to the home 6th on 860 AM. The Answer. Okay. Interesting scores around the Pioneer League. Bottom of the 6th inning here from Kalispell. Ballers lead 4-0 over the Range Riders. Still Adam Bogosian on the hill, attempting to pitch another scoreless inning. He has not allowed a run in relief of Luke Short, who only threw 2 1/3 today. Bogos on mop-up duty. First pitch swinging, blasted past short by Logan Beard. That's a leadoff knock for Beard here in the 6th, and we'll see how much longer the leash is for Bogo as Connor Richardson starts to get ready out in the bullpen in right. Told you it's time for scores around the Pioneer League as Xavier Casarella digs in. He's 1 for 2 today. Right-handed hitter against the righty Bogosian. Beard at first, nobody out. 4-0 Ballers, top of the 6th. First from Bogo is a strike, 0-1. In Grand Junction, big surprise. Yuba Sutter High Whalers leading 14-3. Jackalopes do not stand a chance against the High Whalers this series. Casarella, ground ball, softly hit to short. Cobb's throw is to second for 1. Throw to first. Safe is the call. Interesting. Okay. That was very close to an unbelievable double play ball. As Beard is erased 6-4. I thought Harris's throw was in time, but Shad Chrisman did not agree. And again, I don't agree with a lot of his calls. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Ballers lead 4-0. Kingston Liniak next after the fielder's choice. Casarella at first. 4-0 Ballers lead. And Billings, this is the score that really shocks me that I'm looking at in the scoreboard. It's 18-2. Not Rocky Mountain, but Billings. Liniak chops it foul between his own legs. 0-1. The Mustangs are winning 18-2 in the top of the 8th at home. Who's pitching for Rocky Mountain? That's what I want to know. Caden Kratz. I don't know. Oh, yikes! 10 unearned runs for one of their pitchers, who he's new. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Ground ball to third. It's foul. He picks it up. 0-2. And then who's going off for Billings? Yep, Tyler Shellnut has 4 RBI. That's not surprising. and hit a grand slam in the first inning. Did Billings have another big homer? Yep, 3-run homer by Knight. 10-run first inning for the Mustangs. Wow. 0-2. Liniak takes in. That was, didn't like Liniak's motion there. It looked like he kind of leaned into it, or at least tried to. It's 1-2. Anyway, still going through scores from around the Pioneer League. It's 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on first, 1 out. Ballers lead by 4. Pitch from Bogosian outside, 2-2. Boise leading the Colorado Springs Sky Sox 7-0 in the top of the 4th. Ballers return home on Tuesday to face the Sky Sox for 6 games at Raimondi. Be sure to come on out. And then 2 more scores to get through around the league. 2-2 is a line drive into the mitt of Bogosian, who can flip it to first himself. Double play again turned by Bogo. This time he does it on his lonesome. Line out to the pitcher double play. 1-3. Casarella is retired here from Kalispell. It's 4-0 Oakland after 6 over Glacier. We'll go over those final 2 scores from around the Pioneer League when you return in the 7th on 860 AM. The Answer. Start of the 7th here from Glacier. Ballers lead the Range Riders 4-0 after a 3-run 6th inning. I told you I'd go over the scores from around the Pioneer League. 2 more to get through. Top of the 6th in Missoula, 4-0 Paddleheads over the Voyagers. Same score as it is here. Again, something about, I guess, being in Montana, 4-0 score lines. And then in Idaho Falls, interesting game, bottom of the 6th. It's 6-all between the Ogden Raptors. Nope. Idaho Falls Chuckers just hit a 3-run homer. Tyler Wyatt to make it 9-6. Chuckers over the Raptors. New pitcher for Glacier is Jacob Hasty here in the 7th. He'll face Tremaine Cobb Jr. to start the frame. First pitch, low and in, ball 1. Hasty, 3rd appearance of the series, has a 2.49 ERA. That's the best on the squad. 1-1 record for the lefty. 25th appearance, 21 2/3 innings, 23 hits, 15 walks, 25 Ks. A 1.75 whip for Hasty. Next toss is in on Cobb, 2-0. Hasty's 9th appearance against Oakland this year, has thrown 7 2/3 up to this point against the Ballers. 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Has not allowed a run against the Ballers in this series in 2 1/3. Cobb chops it off his foot, 2-1. Out will sting. Hasty, 24-year-old lefty from Keller, Texas. Before coming to Glacier this season, pitched with the Williamsport Crosscutters of the MLB Draft League, so you would assume that there's a chance he faced Tremaine Cobb Jr., who is playing with the Frederick Keys of the Draft League. 287 hitter last summer for the Keys, 52 hits, 35 runs, 21 RBI, 8 doubles. Did not hit a homer. Cobb takes low, 3-1. You could tell Cobb is just still improving a lot. I feel like sometimes people come from college to the pros and they just don't quite have it, but that's not the case for Trey. On 3-1, he takes a strike, 3-2. But it just feels like Tremaine Cobb Jr. is adapting to the pros and becoming an even better hitter than he was in college. 332 average this season. 285 hitter in 2 years at Troy. Cobb belts a line drive into the gap in left center field. This is at least a single. He's thinking two. The throw from Liniak not cut off, and Tremaine Cobb Jr. has a hustle double to lead off the seventh. His first hit of the game and third hit of the series. Ballers lead 4-0 in the top of the seventh after Tremaine Cobb Jr.'s 14th two-bagger of the year. He's in scoring position with nobody out. 107 off the bat of Cobb. And gotta love the hustle from Trey. He's got ample speed, and he easily got to second ahead of the throw from Liniak. That was a fastball, and he did not miss it. Here's Darryl Buggs, the second. Little check to second base, but Cobb's not running on Hasty here. Buggs pinch ran for Santos and scored in the sixth inning. The right-handed batter tries to bunt and did not bunt that well, fouled it back. He got a low pitch, and instead of so the interesting thing is for Buggs, a sacrifice bunt for him can still be a hit because of his speed, and you could tell very much there he was trying to bunt for a hit instead of giving up an out. Corners are still pinched in, middle back, with Cobb at second. 0-1, Buggs squares, and he offered. Ooh, that was. Did he pull back? An appeal? Yeah, no, he offered. He tried to pull back, I think, but it looked like a swing. And it was a good pitch low and inside from Hasty. Now Buggs is down 0-2. Nobody out in the top of the seventh inning. 4-0. Oakland leads Glacier. The 0-2 from Hasty to Buggsy. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball on the righty Buggs from the lefty Hasty. You rarely see lefties go inside with breaking balls to righties, but when it's thrown with that level of execution, it definitely works. Brings up Davis Druick here in the seventh, and Druick has been hot. He started the series cold. He had just one hit through the first 3 games. Now over the last 2 games of the series, he has 5 hits. 3 last night as Cobb takes off for third. No chance for Ratfield. That's a stolen base. Stole it off the pitcher, Hasty. And now Druick, fly ball to the outfield would bring Cobb home as long as it's hit with just enough on it. Infield's going to come in against Davis Druick. Good luck with the way he's hitting today. He already has 2 doubles. He does swing and miss at a breaking ball. It's 1-1. 4-0 Ballers lead in the top of the seventh inning. 1 out. Cobb at third after his leadoff double. Infield still drawn in against Druick, who is 2 for 3 today with 2 two-baggers. Lefty-lefty battle here. Hasty delivers. Druick, a bit of a lazy swing there. If he would have swung, he calls time. If he would have swung with more authority, however, he would have probably hurt himself. It's honestly, I say a lazy swing, but it's not that he's being lazy. It's that he's being smart. Because if he puts 100% into that swing, knowing that he's not going to hit the ball, then he is just going to get hurt. Hasty way ahead, 1-2. Pitch into the turf, 2-2. Good hold from Druick this time. Tried to throw him 3 straight breaking balls after throwing him a fastball. And he finally held at the third one. Does he stick with the breaking ball here? Yes. And Druick strikes out for the first time today. Back-to-back Ks for Hasty. Cobb still at third, and next is Danny Harris. See if he can pick up a 2-out RBI as he did in the 6th. Last inning, he had a 2-out RBI. Right? No, it was 1 out. It was a string of hits with 1 out for the Ballers that got the first 2 runs home. First pitch to Harris is low and in, 1-0. Harris, a .329 hitter with runners in scoring position. Already has a hit today with runners in scoring position and has 42 RBI this season. Cobb at third with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Ballers up 4-0. They scored in each of the past 2 innings. Can Harris add another here in the 7th? Hasty's pitch. Harris swings and misses. 1-1. Connor Richardson will get the 7th How about the effort from Bogosian tonight? 3 2/3 innings. We'll give his full line later. Harris takes, high and away. It's 2-1. Danny came into this game just 1 for 14 in the series, then went 0 for 2 today before his RBI single up the middle with Druick stealing third. That was in the 6th inning. Harris rests the bat on the right shoulder. Hasty's pitch. Harris fouls it back. 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Be a shame for Cobb's leadoff double to go to waste. The weird bug that flew in earlier to the press box is still hanging out. I wish it would leave, respectfully, to the bug. 2-2 with 2 outs from Hasty. Harris bounces it to short. Howell fields and throws on the run in time to retire Harris 6-3. Cobb doubles to lead off the frame and then is left at third base. Time to stretch. 4-0 Oakland over Glacier on 860 AM The Answer. Bogo with 3 2/3 of dominant relief. The hero today for the Ballers after Luke Short's early 3rd inning injury. He was magnificent, and he now paves the way for Connor Richardson in the bottom of the 7th. Ballers up 4-0 here in the home 7th. I'm Nevada Cullen with Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studio. Chewy Wednesday here in Glacier pitched an inning and a third, retired all 4 he faced and struck out 2. 6'4", 239-pound righty, 25 years old from Grand Forks, North Dakota. 2.4 ERA, 3-0 record, 23 appearances. He has 1 save, 30 innings, 26 hits, 4 walks to 25 Ks. He has great numbers against Glacier as well. We'll get into those. But first, we got to talk about Adam Bogosian, as the first pitch to Rago is a strike, 0-1. 4-0 Ballers lead, and that's because of, first of all, Luke Short, who was great in his start, and then Adam Bogosian, who basically pretended like he was Luke Short. Pitch outside, 1-1 on Rago. I mean, you might as well, Short, who had gone 6 shutout innings in 2 straight starts, combined with Bogosian today, he does it again. 6 scoreless for the Ballers. Rago wave and a miss at 1-1, 1-2. Short went 2 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Adam Bogosian goes 3 2/3, which is just an out shy of his season high. 3 hits allowed, no runs, no walks, a strikeout. He induced 2 double plays, one that he turned himself to end the 6th. And then the pitch count is most impressive. 1-2 bounces in, 2-2 on Rago, the righty, who's 0 for 2 today. 37 pitches for Bogosian needed to get 11 outs. That's incredible. That is so efficient. Hats off to Adam Bogosian out of the pen, who then does a nice job of linking Short to Chewy. In a 4-0 game here in the top of the 7th. 2-2 to Rago is served to left field. Heading back is Druick. Still racing, and it's off the wall, foul. Wow. Rago was just out in front, hit it 331 feet. It would have been a homer if he hit it right down the line. Instead, it was just foul, just to the left of the left field foul pole. Chewy's not immune to home runs. He's given up 12 over his 2 years as a Baller, 4 this season. But that one would have been unfortunate. It wasn't hit all that well by Rago. I will say it was a hanging breaking ball from Chewy. But it does not hurt. It's just a foul ball. It's 2-2 with none out to start the top of the 7th. Next from Connor Richardson is a much better pitch, low and away, but no chase from Rego. Rego in just his 7th game as a Glacier Range rider. Played for the Alpine Cowboys at the Pecos League previously. Payoff is served on the ground to third. Leahy on a couple hops, scoops, throws in time. 1 down. So Chewy on for the Ballers here in inning number 7. 1 out in the inning, nobody on for Kenny Lavari, who's 2 for 2 today. Lavari only has 9 multi-hit games, including this one this season. But I must say, Connor Richardson has been awesome against Glacier this season. He has allowed just 3 runs in 6 appearances against them, but that's a bit more impressive if you consider the ERA. First pitch to Lavari is outside 1-0. 6 games for Chewy against Glacier. 1-0 with a 0 ERA. 10 innings, 11 hits, 3 runs, none earned, and 11 strikeouts. His second appearance today in this series as Lavari takes a strike, 1-1. Wednesday again was outstanding. He retired all 4 he faced. 1-1 from the righty Chewy to the lefty Lavari. Richardson is set at the chest. And he gets a pop-up, playable I think. Tatum is calling it, and the catcher makes the squeeze, basically in the on-deck circle towards the Glacier dugout on the left side for out number 2. Absolutely will take that. Tatum's such an underrated defensive catcher. He's a good framing catcher. He makes the easy plays on the pop-ups, and he's got an arm on him too. He threw out 1 runner already in this series. 8-hitter Ratfield takes in for a strike, 0-1. 4-0 Ballers lead, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ratfield is 0 for 2 today, now 2 for 4 as a pro. Ratfield takes in, beautiful pitch, called a ball. Tatum's not going to waste a challenge here. It's 1-1. I think he knew it was a strike. There was hesitation when Alec Conwell didn't call it a strike, but that's a great job by Tatum not to challenge against the 8-hitter Ratfield, who rips one past the third baseman Leahy. Okay, so maybe he should have challenged because Ratfield has now hit safely in both of his first 2 games as a pro. Still, probably better to leave Oakland's last 3 remaining challenges till the 8th and the 9th inning, if possible. Brings up the 9-hitter JT Mabry after the 2-out single by Donovan Ratfield. Righty-righty battle here, Chewy and Mabry. 1 for 2 today, Mabry, with a single through the right side last time. Line drive into right. First pitch from Richardson is served into center field. Left center at that, and going from first to third is Ratfield. Bug's throw is to second, and Mabry is safe. He stayed on the bag as well. That's a hustle double from JT Mabry. And now Glacier's in business here. Second and third with 2 outs against Chewy, and Kyle Ashworth is next, the leadoff man. There is an open base at first. Just of note, 4-0 Ballers lead in the bottom of the 7th, but back-to-back hits with 2 outs have put Glacier in a position to cut this lead in half with a base hit. Third is Ratfield, second is Mabry. How about this bottom of the lineup tonight? They've combined for 5 hits between Lavari, Ratfield, and Mabry. Here's Ashworth, who's 1 for 3. Made his pro debut back on June 8th against this Oakland team here in Kalispell. Ashworth, the lefty, takes low, 1-0. Glacier has now out-hit Oakland in the game, 8-7. But they have no runs to show for it. Ashworth trying to change that. The lefty batter, wielding a light tan bat, takes strike 1. 1-1. 2 outs. Franz Norman in the pen, but Chewy's trying to get out of this inning without allowing a run. Ratfield and Mabry, the runners, both in scoring position, both with 2 out hits. Ashworth dancing in his left-handed stance. Chewy delivers. Low and away. It's 2-1. What could have been for Chewy this inning if Tatum had indeed challenged that pitch to Ratfield that was called a ball inside that was a strike. Incorrectly called a ball. Can't think about that now. Have to settle down and focus on Ashworth. 2-1. Hit back to the screen. 2-2. Glacier today has left multiple runners in 2 different innings, the 2nd and the 5th. Chewy trying to make that 3 times here in the 7th. Ratfield and Mabry the runners. Richardson looks at Ratfield at third, comes home, gets a check swing, and he absolutely went around for strike 3. Alec Conwell, the home plate umpire, says that Ashworth went, and he is the final out here in the 7th as Chewy allows a couple 2-out knocks but leaves both runners. Let's go to the 8th. 4-0 Ballers over Glacier on 860 AM The Answer. Start of the 8th, still 4-0 Oakland here in Kalispell. I'm Nevada Cullen. And that bug that I was talking about is still in the booth. I have multiple people telling me to get rid of it, including Jeff and Nancy telling me to smash it. Justin Collins saying, Colin Scrappy to eat the bug. Unfortunately, Scrappy's not on site here in Kalispell. Top of the 8th, and the Ballers will send up 5, 6, and 7. Almanza, Helmick, and Allgaier against Hasty. It's been 5, 6, and 7 to start the 2nd, the 5th, and now the 8th. First pitch of the inning from Hasty is a strike to Almanza, 0-1. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday night here on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Ballers play tomorrow at 12:05 Pacific. Tatum, Almanza to deep right field. This ball is gone. Christian Almanza with team-leading homer number 16 of the year. A solo bomb to start the 8th. Oakland extends its lead to 5-0. Got a pitch right down the middle. The breaking ball hung from Hasty. 103 off the bat, 429 feet for Almanza. Well, I was due to mess up a home run call at some point this season. That was very much not Dylan Tatum. I know I corrected it right away, but here's Cam Buford pinch hitting. He takes a strike, 0-1. Hitting in place of Helmick. I'm going to assume this is just a one-time thing and Buford won't take the field, but we shall see. Buford taps it to short. 2 hops for Howell. His throw to first is in time, and Buford's out 6-3. 1 out in the inning. Top of the 8th inning. Christian Almanza with team-leading homer number 16. He came in 7th in the Pioneer League with 15 bombs. Now Almanza's got 16 homers. He has been... Has he been Oakland's best hitter this year? It's so funny. There's so many players that have a shout for that. Pitch in the turf to Allgaier, hitting right-handed for the first time today. It's 1-0. I think Almanza, Harris, Druick, Tatum, Cobb. It's like you look at all of these guys, and they're all doing different things well. As Allgaier hits it foul of third, 1-1. For Almanza, it's been the power and the run production. Leads the team in doubles, homers, and RBI. So by that account, you can call him the best hitter on the team. But Jermaine Cobb Jr. has the most hits. Tatum's got the best average and best in the slash categories. There's a strike, 1 and 2 on Allgaier. And then Druick was the best hitter before getting hurt. And Druick, the best hitter today for Oakland, with 2 doubles. Ground ball over the pitcher's mound. Backhand by Beard. Throw on the run to first. Gets Allgaier by a step. Nice play by Beard. 2 away. Christian Almanza with the solo bomb to deep right center field. Puts Oakland ahead 5-0 here in the 8th. Now it's Dylan Tatum. And Tatum's been impressive today. 2 RBI, 2 walks, and an RBI double. Tatum, right-handed hitter. Hasn't hit a home run in 13 days. And he hits a weak line drive to Beard. At second, it's off his glove. Hit or error? Interesting. Let's see. I don't have strong feelings about that. It was basically just dropped by Beard. I think it's an error. And unfortunately, will not help Tatum's on-base percentage after he had reached in his first 3 plate appearances. He reaches in his 4th, but it is ruled an error by Beard. He definitely should have caught that. Nick Leahy, first pitch fouled off. Yeah, that was a 71-mile-an-hour line drive. That was not hard hit. But Tatum will take it. He's on first. 5-0 Ballers lead. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Leahy is 0 for 3 in this game. The majority of the Ballers have hits tonight. Allgaier and Leahy, the 2 that don't. Leahy swings at a pitch in the turf. 0-2. He was seeing it like a beach ball in the series, both series really, against Rocky Mountain. Had 3 homers in the series at home against the Vibes. Had a 3-homer game against the Vibes in Colorado Springs. 0-2 with 2 outs from Hasty to the righty. Leahy outside, 1-2. Do we have any finals yet in the Pioneer League tonight? Yes, we do. Billings beats Rocky Mountain 19-2. 1-2 count. Runner at first is Tatum. 2 outs in the frame. 5-0 Ballers, top of the 8th. Hasty comes home. Leahy takes in the turf. 2-2. It's funny, Leahy hits righties better than lefties, at least over the course of the season he has. However, he also has some success against lefties, namely Ty Bothwell, who started Wednesday's game. Luke Cooper. Leahy takes just off the plate. That is challenged by Glacier. This is a very tight call on the edge, and it is just a ball. Goodness. No. 1 second. I'm going to leave the crowd my... Okay. Very sorry for the radio silence. It was it was a strike. It was overturned to a strike. TrackMan has 2 different systems. The one that we have on my end shows it being out of the zone, but the one that Glacier has on their end has it in the zone. So apologies for that. It was a strike. It was the correct call, and Leahy strikes out looking to end the inning. And Oakland gets 1 on the Christian Almanza solo shot here in the top of the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th on 860 AM The Answer. Oof. All right. Bottom of the 8th inning. Ballers get a run on the Christian Almanza homer in the top of the 8th and lead 5-0. I'll explain what just happened in the top of the 8th in a second as Caleb Franzen's on the hill for Oakland. So basically, TrackMan, it's a weird software because on the front end, it's how it takes outside, it's 1-1. The front end appears differently than the back end of TrackMan. So what the official TrackMan operator for Glacier sees is different from what I see in the press box. Confusing, I know. 1-1 is just low. And inside, 2-1. And so I rushed over to the booth next to me thinking that was the official TrackMan operator and saying that they got it wrong. That wasn't the official TrackMan operator's booth. 2-1 is high and away, 3-1. They were thinking the same thing as me, that it should have been confirmed instead of overturned. But it's confusing, but it is what it is. And Leahy struck out looking in the frame. 3-1 from Franzen is fouled back, 3-2. TrackMan is not a perfect software. It does a good job of trying to make sure that the right calls are being made, but sometimes there are just confusing things that happen. And so that's why I left the booth, is to go argue Nick Leahy's case. So it was the correct call in the end. 3-2 from Franzen is grounded to second. Danny Harris is there, fields on a few hops, throws to first in time for out number 1. In the end, regardless of the call, the Ballers are up 5-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning, and there's really no need to panic. I just got a little jumpy there, I guess. So Chewy only throws 1 inning today. Caleb Franzen is on for the Ballers, making his 20th appearance of the year. Pop-up, foul ground, right field. Almanza's got a tough play on his hands. He's called off by Danny Harris, who makes the nice catch. 2 away. Franzen's got a 5.04 ERA this year, 2-0 record, 19 appearances for the 24-year-old lefty from Westland, Oregon. 25 innings, 26 hits, 3 walks, and 28 Ks. Franzen Tuesday, 2 innings, just 1 hit allowed. It was a TJ Clarkson homer, and he did strike out a batter, Franzen, who is making his 7th appearance against Glacier this year. Here's Xavier Casarella, right-handed batter, takes a strike, 0-1. 0-1 from the lefty Franzen to the righty Casarella is also called a strike. That one looked high to me. No, outside corner, strike 2. Chewy, by the way, goes an inning, strikes out a batter, gives up 2 hits, but no runs. 0-2 from Franzen. Casarella grounds it to third, scooped by Leahy, throw to first in time. What a play by Nick Leahy, who made a sweet sliding play in the 5-6 hole and then threw to first for out number 3. Glacier retired in order in the 8th. Ballers lead 5-0, heading to the 9th on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Final frame here in Kalispell. The Oakland Ballers lead 5-0 against the Glacier Range Riders. Another new pitcher for Glacier after Jacob Hasty throws 2 innings, gives up 2 hits and 1 earned run. No walks, 3 strikeouts for Hasty, which matches his season high in innings and strikeouts. The lone run he allowed was the Christian Almanza solo shot to deep right field in the 8th inning. Hasty replaced by Eldridge Armstrong III. First we've seen of him in this series. He pitched Saturday at Billings, gave up a hit, no runs, and 2 strikeouts in an inning against the Mustangs. Right-handed pitcher, 6'2", 200 pounds, 22-year-old from Pasadena, California. 7.18 ERA, 1-1 record, 16 appearances, 26 in the 3rd innings, 30 hits, 11 walks, 29 Ks. He gets the top of the order. Cobb is first, and he hits one foul. He was late on the fastball at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. I'm Nevada Cullen. Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday night. Ballers looking to snap a two-game losing streak. I said it as the pitch is low to Cobb, 1-1. I said it and immediately thought it was wrong because how have the Ballers lost back-to-back games? Besides me, it feels so foreign. And yet, it is possible. The Ballers are humans. As Cobb takes outside, 2-1. Want to look at the scores again from around the Pioneer League. Some scores were becoming interesting. Not in Grand Junction. It's still 16-3 Yuba Sutter. 2-1 to Cobb is a strike, 2-2. Bottom of the 5th, it's still 8-2 Boise over Colorado Springs. At least the Sky Sox are on the board now. It's 9-7 in the top of the 8th. Idaho Falls leads Ogden. But in the bottom of the 7th, Missoula leads Great Falls just 4-2. Cobb waits back on a breaking ball and then hits it into the berm. It actually bounced off of the line that goes from near the right field foul pole to the Ballers first base dugout that is used to hold up the netting behind home. Time is called by Tremaine Cobb Jr. So it bounced off that line and then dropped into the berm. Sun has set. Lights have taken full effect here in Kalispell. 2-2 to Cobb, the leadoff man here in the top of the 9th. 5-zip, Oakland leads. Armstrong fires and misses outside. I kind of want to look at Major League Baseball scores because we have the opportunity to, with the All-Star break being over. Top of the 8th in L.A., the Brewers lead the Dodgers 7-5. Top of the 6th in Seattle, it's 4-2 Mariners over the Astros. Payoff from Armstrong to Cobb. Swung on and missed late on the fastball. 3rd strikeout today for Trey. And there's one away here in the top of the 9th. Next is Darryl Buggs II, who struck out in his first at-bat. That was in the 7th. 5-0 Ballers, 1 out, top of the 9th. Finals elsewhere in Major League Baseball today. The Blue Jays beat the Giants in Toronto 6-3. Jeff Hoffman picks up his 23rd save. 5-2 Reds over the Mets. Swing and a miss from Buggs, 0-1. Reds win in New York. Emilio Pagan picks up his 21st save. Marlins hold off the Royals 3-1. Fish are hot. Buggs really swinging a miss, 0-2. Marlins won yesterday with a Kyle Stowers walk-off bomb. Phillies beat the Angels 9-5 in Philadelphia. White Sox best the Pirates in Pittsburgh 10-4. Nats beat the Padres 4-2. Kyle Finnegan, his 19th save. 2-strike pitch outside. It's 1-2 on Buggs. Rays hold on against the Orioles 4-3. A 3-run 8th for Tampa Bay. 4-1 Rangers beat the Tigers today in Texas. High outside pitch called a strike on Buggs. I don't think he agrees, but it's definitely on the corner. Great pitch from Armstrong. There's 2 away. 2 up, 2 strikeouts for Eldridge Armstrong III. Next up, Davis Druick, who struck out his last time, but has also doubled twice today. Looking ahead in the 9th will be Connor Sullivan for the Ballers. Not a save situation as Druick takes off the plate, 1-0. So Franzen goes just 1 inning and pitches a perfect inning. Druick takes a strike, 1-1. And then looking ahead for Glacier specifically, Liniak, Rago, Lavari due up against Silly. I wouldn't be surprised if Clarkson hits instead of Rago. There's a ball outside and low to Druick, 2-1. Last of the scores from Major League Baseball today. The Cubs blanked the Red Sox 6-0. Shota Imanaga now 7-3 this year. D-backs beat the Cardinals 10-1 in Arizona. Druick takes a strike. He challenges. He thinks for sure that missed. It was low. Yankees beat the Braves in Atlanta 12-9. So it's 3-1 on Druick instead of 2-2. Also, Rockies beat the Twins today in Colorado 10-6. And one more score for you from Cleveland. Druick takes a strike, 3-2. The A's beat the Guardians today 8-2. A's score 2 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th to make that one seem like much more of a blowout. 3-2 toss. Druick takes in the turf and walks. Not a lot of walks today for Oakland. They've walked 4 times as a team. Walks from 4 different pitchers. Runner at first for Danny Harris, who is 1 for 4 today with an RBI single. Ballers lead 5-zip. It's the top of the 9th. There are 2 away. Those are your scores from Major League Baseball today. Luis Severino picked up his 3rd win for the A's in that 8-2 win in Cleveland. First pitch to Harris off the plate, 1-0. Ballers up 5-0, attempting to grab their 4th shutout win of the year, first of the second half. 1-0. Harris takes a strike, base at the zone. Didn't like it. Probably was a ball. Oakland has 2 challenges left. Not a good one to waste that challenge on. 1-1. Runner goes. Harris swings. Jacks it. Left center field. It is off the wall. Druick scores. Harris coasts into second with an RBI 2-out double in the 9th. Druick again was running on the pitch, and again, with a hit and run on, Harris drives in Davis Druick for the 2nd time today. The 2nd time in the last 4 innings of the game. And Danny Harris has a 2-hit game, his 20th of the year, and a 2 RBI game, his 11th of the season. Came in with just 1 hit in the series, and he took a middle pitch, a breaking ball from Armstrong, hit it 99 off the bat, 378 feet for an RBI double. Almanza, first pitch, skips in. 1-0. Ballers up 6-zip in the top of the 9th. And Ballers might actually go with Sean Kelby here instead of Connor Sullivan. Kelby, the lefty, loosely warming up in the Ballers bullpen. Almanza strokes one high to center field. Liniak looks like he has this one played out in left center. And it's an out despite being hit at 95 off the bat, 344 feet by Christian Almanza. That's it for the Ballers offensively in this game. A 6-run lead will hope to be enough for the Ballers bullpen. And it does look like Connor Sullivan will go for Oakland here in the 9th. 6-zip Ballers after the RBI double by Danny Harris in the top of the inning. Silly on for the bottom of the inning on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Ballers get another insurance run in the top of the ninth thanks to a booming RBI double by Danny Harris. Hit it off the wall and left center. And so it's 6-zip Oakland over Glacier as Connor Sullivan comes on to attempt to give the Ballers their 4th shutout win of the season. Sully to face the Glacier middle of the order, 5, 6, 7. Liniak, Rego, Lavari due up, but as expected, there is a pinch hitter on deck for Glacier. It is not who I thought it would be. It's Jack Lynch. Clarkson, I guess maybe it's not a big enough time to use him, but Lynch will hit in place of Rego. A like-for-like change at first base. First pitch was a strike from Sully to Liniak. Second pitch is high. 1-0. 1-1. Sully coming on for the not save. It's not a save situation, but the 9th appearance he's made against Glacier this year. 1-1 swung on and missed. Good pitch from Sully. He's got a 2.77 ERA, 26th appearance, 0-1 record, 12 saves. That's the league lead. 26 innings, 14 hits, 9 walks, 31 Ks. Working from the windup, he's side-arming righty. Stands at 6'5", shakes off one side, comes home on 1-2, and misses way upstairs with the fastball at 92. 2-2 on the right-handed hitting Kingston Liniak, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. Sully winds and deals. Liniak takes, ball 3 off the plate. Sully has pitched twice in this series, 2 saves, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts. Payoff is next with Liniak leading off the frame. Sully delivers, and he got him. Strike 3 called, challenged by Liniak. That pitch was near the bottom of the zone, but I think this one's going to go against Oakland, or in favor of Glacier, I should say. It's overturned. It's a ball, and Liniak walks on a very close pitch. That's a tough take. If I were Liniak, I would have swung, but then again, I'm not a professional baseball player. Good slider from Sully, but he can't get the K. And now it's the pinch hitter, Jack Lynch, here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ballers lead 6-zip. It's not a high leverage situation yet for Connor Sullivan, but he is trying to get the final 3 outs of this game. 6-0 Oakland leads. Ballers attempting to take the series lead 3-2. Lynch on a 4-game hit streak, hitting in place of Josh Rego. First to Jack Lynch is in, 1-0. Jack Lynch has had a great series, 4 for 10 with 3 doubles. He is now up to 7 doubles against Oakland in his career in 2 years. Lynch takes a strike, 1-1. Rego was 0 for 3. Lynch hoping to go 1 for 1 in this game and extend his hit streak to 5 games. Last pitch was a fastball from Sully. The righty delivers and gets a check swing. Did he go? Appeal to second. No, says Craig Struble. That was close. Also close to being a strike, but just low and outside. It's 2-1. Liniak at first after the challenged walk. Glacier, I believe, just has 1 challenge remaining. Lynch takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. It's 2-2. Not going to use that challenge there. Lefty stands in. Lynch drags his gray barreled bat across the plate and waits for the 2-2. Sully from the stretch. Misses outside. No chase. Count full again. Back-to-back full counts to start the 9th for Glacier. Down by 6. You don't need hits necessarily. You need base runners. And if they get back-to-back walks to start this inning, they'll absolutely take that. Payoff to Jack Lynch is served foul off to the right and wedges itself. We got a wedgie in front of the Oakland dugout. It got caught in the facing down that first base line. It's like a basketball that got stuck between the backboard and the rim. The kids went scrambling for that foul ball, but none to be found. 3-2, again from Sully. Swung on and missed. Lynch pulled the head at the changeup. And Sully had a strikeout, had that overturned with a challenge. Can't overturn a swing. And there's 1 away. Next, Kenny Lavari, another lefty. And now TJ Clarkson will fist bump some fans before going to hit against Connor Sullivan, pinch hitting for Ratfield after Lavari, theoretically, unless a double play occurs. First pitch is a strike to Lavari. It's 0-1. Lavari in this game already has a couple hits. He's 2 for 3. A 1 is called a ball at 91. That was just high and outside. A good take from Lavari. 1 out. Runner at first is Liniak. Bottom of the ninth, 6-0 Ballers. Sully attempting to get the final 3 outs and give the Ballers their 4th shutout win. 1-1 is laced past Almanza and into right field. Helmick cuts it off before it can roll to the wall and quickly gets it in to Danny Harris. That's a nice play from Lou Helmick, who is the right fielder. Santos was earlier. Defense, I'll reset it in a moment. But that's a hit for Lavari, and it means TJ Clarkson gets a chance to hit in this game. Clarkson, who has 5 homers against the Ballers this year, tied for the team lead with 8 bombs and has driven in 29. The lefty hitter, 24 years of age from Gilbert, Arizona, will hit with men at the corners against Silly here in the 9th. Glacier trying to get a run against Silly as Clarkson takes high and away for ball 1. Sully, up till this point, had not allowed a run against Glacier this season. That could easily change here with men at the corners and just 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. 6-0 Ballers lead. Runner goes to second, and the pitch is called a strike at the top of the zone as Lavari successfully steals second base. It should actually, I think, be defensive indifference. See how it's ruled. But nobody really flinched at the steal from Lavari. Clarkson takes low, 2-1. It is ruled a steal. I will ask about that. Postgame. There is usually one scoring change that I inquire upon. Sully against Clarkson. Good battle here with 1 out in the 9th. Clarkson swings and misses at a devastating changeup from Sully, 2-2. Clarkson in the series, 5 for 15. Went 3 for 3 yesterday, so it's been a while since he's been retired. Liniak at third, Lavari at second base. 1 out, 6-0 Ballers, bottom of the 9th. 2-2 toss from Sully is belted through the right side for a base hit. This likely will score 2. Helmick's throw is launched towards home. It is offline, and it is a 2-run single by the pinch hitter, TJ Clarkson, who has now driven in 13 against the Ballers this season. No shutout. Sully allows a couple of runs in the 9th and hoping to prevent any more from scoring. Next up is JT Mabry, who is 2 for 3 in the game with a double his last time up. A hustle double at that, lined into left center field. So not Sully's best outing today as he allows runs against Glacier for the first time this season. Still 6-2 Oakland leads. Runner goes to second. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. And that one is definitely a stolen base because Harris covered second. Sully not the best at holding runners. Now looks towards Clarkson. 0-1 pitch to Mabry is served foul off to the right, 0-2. TJ Clarkson can't have many stolen bases this year. That is just number 2. Good for TJ Clarkson. 6-2, Ballers lead. Bottom of the 9th inning. Clarkson at second after his 2-run single through the right side. Next to Mabry, outside, 1-2. Mabry has actually hit very well against Oakland this season. He is 8 for 20 against the Ballers. Despite on the season, well, no, he's hitting well on the season. 294 average, actually. Just not many at-bats. 1-2 from Silly. Fouled away. Mabry stays alive. He sent it off to the right into the Kalispell night. Well, Ballers missed out on their 4th shutout win of the year. 1-2 from Silly is popped up. Right side of the infield, Mabry angrily tosses the bat aside. Harris makes the one-handed squeeze for out number 2. Doesn't matter how you do it. Connor Sullivan is all reliable when it comes to getting those final 3 outs. And in a 6-run game, you're not asking him to be his best. You're just asking him to get 3 outs. Now it's a 4-run game after that 2-run Clarkson single. But Kyle Ashworth represents Glacier's last hope. 6-2 Oakland, bottom of the 9th. Runner at second is Clarkson. The first pitch to Ashworth is just low for ball 1. Ballers still have, I want to say, 2 challenges left. One way or another. Right or wrong. 1-0. Called a strike, bottom of the zone. That is the correct call. Now, Glacier, I believe, has one challenge remaining. They've been successful 4 times and wrong once tonight. 1-1. Sully, the side-arming righty, set, looks back at second, comes home and gets a ground ball to short. 2 hops for Cobb. He fields, fires, and ends the game. 6-3 putout, and this game is in the book. Sully gets the final 2 outs, even though he allowed a couple runs on 2 hits, and the Ballers win 6-2. Ballers take the series lead here in Kalispell, 3-2 over the Range Riders with a dominant victory, especially pitching-wise. After Luke Short's sad injury earlier in this game, Adam Bogosian was heroic. We'll talk more about the great pitching tonight for Oakland and the key hitting when you return on the postgame show. 6-2 Ballers win here on 860 AM. The Answer. Ballers victorious here in Kalispell, 6-2 as Oakland picks up its 40th win of the Pioneer League season. They are the first to 40 in the Pioneer League. They take the 3-2 series lead with a 6-2 win tonight in Kalispell. I'm Nevada Cullen. Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday night. So Ballers with the win in this game, but how did it happen? Well, not much in the opening 4 innings. Both teams were kept off the board until the 5th when the Ballers finally scored. But first, we got to start in the bottom of the 3rd inning because it looks like Glacier's probably going to win this game when Luke Short has to exit with an injury in the 3rd. He threw just 2 1/3. He did throw 2 1/3 scoreless, though, today and struck out 3. But how big was Adam Bogosian? Hopefully Short's all right. I'll try to find out more about Short's injury if there is anything to find out, and report back tomorrow. But how about Adam Bogosian? 3 2/3 innings in relief of Luke Short, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. He needed just 37 pitches, Bogo, tonight. Awesome job by Bogosian in this game. And then the offense finally woke up in the 5th inning. A single by Lou Helmick, and then an RBI double for Dylan Tatum put the Ballers on the board first. Then in the 6th, this was interesting. The Ballers, with 1 out in the inning, get a double from Isai Santos. Davis Druick RBI double down the right field line, and then a Danny Harris RBI single to make it 3-0. Then a walk and a fielder's choice mean that the Ballers still have men at the corners, I believe, at the time. But at this point, they go to a new pitcher of the Glacier Range Riders. They put in, Nick Ferrazzi was in the game. They put in Cam Cowan, who then hits a batter and walks Dylan Tatum to bring in another run. That was the 4th run of the game for Oakland. They scored 3 in the 6th inning. In the 7th, the Ballers get a double but leave Trey Cobb. In the 8th, Christian Almanza hits a solo shot, his 16th of the year, to put the Ballers up 5-0. Then, top of the 9th inning, Oakland gets one more. RBI double by Danny Harris off the wall, 6-zip. That was plenty for Connor Sullivan, who does give up a couple runs in the 9th on a couple of hits. But in the end, he strands a runner, and he keeps the tying run from ever even getting on deck in this ball game. And so Sully does give up a couple hits and a couple runs. Definitely one of his less strong outings of the year. He did strike out a batter. But how about the middle of this bullpen? Bogosian, I mentioned him. Connor Richardson pitched a scoreless inning, and Caleb Franzen pitched a hitless frame. And the Ballers hold on to win this one 6-2. 6 runs on 9 hits, 1 error for Oakland. 2 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for the Glacier Range Riders. The win in this game goes to Adam Bogosian. He improves to 2-0 in his rookie campaign as Nick Ferrazzi gets his first official decision. It is a loss for the Glacier Range Riders righty. This game started at 7:11 p.m., finished 9:53. That's 8:53 back in the Bay. 2:42 run time on this Saturday, July 19th. On a day that was very nice, a little bit cloudy, 75 to the mid to high 60s by game's end here in Kalispell. The Glacier Range Riders fall to 19-34, 2-3 in the second half. Ballers improved to 3-2 in the second half and grab their 40th win of the season. They are the first in the Pioneer League to that total. Meanwhile, Aaron Miles grabs his 70th win as manager of the Oakland Ballers. So taking a look at the Pioneer League standings, the Ballers first to 40 wins. The Missoula Paddleheads are still at 35. So if that tells you anything about the season that the Ballers have had so far, I don't know what will, if not that. So that'll do it for today's broadcast here from Kalispell, Montana. Our final score, Ballers 6, Range Riders 2, a final in 9 innings. Big thanks to those who helped make the broadcast possible, including Ballers co-founders Paul Friedman and Brian Carmel, Ballers assistant general manager Tyler Peterson, Brennan Colthurst, and back in our 860 AM The Answer studios, Mike Russell. Also, big thanks to you, the listener. We'll have more baseball coming up. Our coverage of Sunday's Game 6, the finale of the 6-game series, will start at noon pack time at 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. We hope that you can join us. Again, our final score, Ballers beat the Range Riders 6-2 to grab their 40th win of 2025. For reference, the Ballers grabbed their 40th win of 2024 on August 9th. So a lot sooner. And they still made the playoffs, of course. But they're already in the playoffs now. I'm Nevada Cohen, saying so long, and thanks for listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM, The Answer.